Welcome to the Principality Stadium in Cardiff for the final game of the opening round of the 2026 Women's Six Nations. A crowd of over 10,000 expected here today for the clash between Wales and Scotland. Scotland have a new man at the helm. Former USA coach Sione Fukafuka's first team selection has some familiarity to it, with Rachel Malcolm captaining from the back row. It's a potent back line with star centre Emma Orr and speedster Chloe Rowley at full-back. Second Six Nations campaign for Cymru's head coach Sean Lynn then, who named back row Kate Williams as captain, with two experienced heads in Ciara Bevan and Shaky George at half-back. Two new caps today, with 19-year-old Georgia Iono making her debut in the second row and Seren Singleton on the wing. Both have shone for Brython Thunder in this year's Celtic Challenge. And this is the final game of round one, of course. Earlier today, France took on Italy in Grenoble. France winning that in the end by 40 points to 7. And for those of you who may have switched over from BBC One, you'll have just seen England beat Ireland by 33 points to 12. Hello, croeso i Stadium of Principality. Welcome to the Principality Stadium. There's 15 minutes ahead of kick-off here. So we thought we'd bring you to the centre of the field, just for you to have a quick look what's going on around us. We've got Wales warming up there. Scotland are just over there, and I'm delighted to be joined by Philippa Tuttiett and Jade Conkle, recently internationally retired Jade Conkle. So this is like new for you, right? Standing here as a fan, not a player ahead of this Six Nations.
Yeah, definitely, but I am still on the pitch, so that surely counts for something. But yeah, very content, retired internationally, but now it's the time for the next generation. Really, really excited for what this Six Nations is going to bring.
Yeah, I think we all are, aren't we? And we're really excited for this matchup this afternoon as well, because I was looking at the Scotland setup ahead of this, Jade, and a lot has changed since the World Cup in terms of backroom staff. Sione Fukafuka's come in as your main head coach, and then you've got Johan Cunningham, who was once with Wales, of course, and then you've got Dave Butchers, who's come in from Canada. So looking at that backroom staff, do we know what to expect from this Scotland team this afternoon?
I think the amount of time they've had together has been so limited, so it won't happen overnight. But I think Sione coming from a southern hemisphere over in Australia, then from USA as well, coming across, he'll bring some exciting, flaring attacking rugby, which I'm really, really excited for the girls to see. So we'll see what it brings. And Johan coming across from Wales as well. The girls have said he's super energetic, and they're loving kind of the intent and the stuff that he's coaching as well. So really exciting.
Sorry, Philippa, I didn't even say hello to you. I just went straight to Jade. Two questions. How are you, Philippa?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. I'm listening to what you were saying about the Scotland setup, and I guess you could compare it to the Welsh setup in some ways, because I know this is Sean Lynn's second Six Nations in charge, but he too has brought in coaches. He's had a little bit longer with the Welsh team, so he's had more time to put his stamp on things.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think last year was a massive learning curve for him. As much as he's a proven domestic rugby coach, obviously going back-to-back titles, Gloucester Hartbury, it was his first international women's job, so he went straight into a Six Nations, straight into a World Cup. I think he learned a lot through that time. I went into camp this week, and the protocols that he's set up now, linking the 18s, the 21s, the Celtic Challenge, and getting in new coaching staff, guys that he wants to work with, that are going to enforce his ethos and style of play. And specifically, I've got to look at Tyrone Holmes. I mean, a former defence coach from you. I mean, you were singing his praises earlier. He's ours now. And you know what? Wales need that, because they conceded 32 tries last year, 10 more than any other team. So defence has got to be a massive work on for them, and they've got the right guy in for the job.
And a quick one then on both match days 23, because I was looking at Wales's match day 23, and it kind of, for me, it kind of reflects a bit of a shift. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's a new World Cup cycle. They've got 4 years now to blood in some youngsters. I'm really excited for Seren Singleton on the wing. Exciting player. The amount of times I've watched her play, and she seems to be running into traffic, but somehow pops up on the other side. And you know what? It must give a player so much confidence when your coach selects you for your debut in the Principality Stadium. I just hope she really takes it and runs with it, literally.
And if you look at Scotland's 23, I mean, where have you got it today, in your opinion, Jade, when you look at that back line, I'm guessing?
So I think that centre partnership is going to be the point of difference today. So you've got Meryl Smith at 12 and Emma Orr at 13, and they are centre partnership as well at Bristol Bears. So they spent a lot of time together, a lot of time to work on each other's timing, skill set, understanding each other, and that's the point of difference. That's the 1% that I think that they'll have over Wales today, is that kind of set partnership. And they've both got such attacking flair. They're great players, and I'm really excited to see what they'll bring today.
It's going to be so good, this, isn't it? We're really looking forward to this one, as is Jenny Drummond, who a little earlier on caught up with both head coaches.
Sean, it's your second campaign in charge, and you've brought in kind of a whole new coaching setup. How nice is it to have that under your wing, and what are you expecting?
Yeah, look, they've come in and everything I spoke to the players and the staff was about how fast can we be connected, and these last two weeks have been brilliant. And everybody's brought in their new processes, and it's how we can buy into those processes now when we're out there.
Georgia and Seren, two new caps today, two debuts in fact. What are we looking forward to seeing from them?
I'm just hoping that we'll see their confidence, the form that they've been in Brython, playing for Brython, and then bringing that form in today. You know, Georgia Iona will just bring that work rate, that physicality, and then you've got Seren Singleton, who just works so hard on everything she does, the kick chase, her flow attack. So it's really exciting to see them out there.
And is this campaign a marker of where you're at? Have you drawn a line under the last year or so?
Yeah, definitely. Everything, we've moved on. We had a real good review of everything. We've moved on, and it's about now building for this new part of Wales.
Well, we're looking forward to it. All the best.
Lovely, thank you.
Sione, it's your first campaign in charge of Scotland. Talk me through what the last few months has been like and kind of what you want to achieve in the next few weeks.
Yeah, it's been exciting, a lot in a short amount of time. Not just obviously in charge of Scotland, but also First Six Nations, which is a wonderful competition. What we want to achieve is really reinforcing what the identity of this team is. They had a great World Cup, got to a quarter-final, and we'd love to accelerate that group forward and really push for consistent performances, but again, also just to reinforce what that identity of the team is, attacking rugby, really relentless defence, and then working really hard on being the team that plays 80 minutes plus.
In terms of the team, you've got some great experience there, but also a lot of youth, particularly on the bench. How have you gone about kind of gelling the group when you haven't had a lot of time?
Very lucky. I have the benefit of Rachel Malcolm and Helen Nelson, so we've got some really experienced leaders there who have really stepped up to make those players really comfortable, clear on their roles, but also just to reinforce the fact that we just need them to go out there and be themselves, express themselves, and we'll back them all the way.
Well, thanks very much for your time and all the very best.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Cheers.
And I've wandered into the tunnel area and I've casually bumped into Siobhan Lillycrap, former Wales captain, of course. I mean, it's great being here at this time pre-match. We're waiting now for the teams to meet each other. We've got Nell, the mascot, there waiting. We've got a random exercise bike there. I'm not really sure what that's going to do, Siobhan, but what do you remember about these moments pre-match?
Oh, these are the best bits, Sarah. You know, all the work is done, the atmosphere in the changing room, and then coming out to walk onto the stadium. Everyone's in focus mode, and you've got 80 minutes then to do your job, so you're just thinking about the job at hand.
Yeah, you can hear the noise now, can't you, as the girls meet each other? The lights have dimmed in the Principality Stadium. Of course, were you a shouter as captain? Were you the deliverer of messages?
I was absolutely a shouter. I was the motivator, and really in the moment, I think my passion come through in those moments. I think Alex Callender would be a similar skipper, but I think Kate Williams is a little bit more composed than I would have been.
I know the Scotland team is singing behind us. I don't know if you can hear that, but you know what? Let's get you up to commentary. Siobhan, thank you. You're going to have to head up to comms now, aren't you? And joining you up there, we will have Heather Lockhart and first Claire Thomas, where we leave you with the Scotland team singing behind us.
Wales against Scotland, more often than not, comes down to the wire and is a cauldron of history, spice, oohs and ahs, thrills and spills. 80 minutes, which mean more than their fair share and have captivated us for years now. Leah Bartlett, on the occasion of her 50th, will both lead her side out and corner their thistled scrum. As for the third Six Nations in a row, these two open their accounts up against one another. As Courtney Keat mused in the week, this has so often set the tone for the next 4 rounds. Snowballs, ripples, shockwaves, however you picture it, what is about to happen will echo on well beyond the full-time whistle. Wales open their account at one of the game's great grounds. They're back at the Arms Park for France and Italy and have trips to Bristol and Belfast en route, while Scotland are on a bona fide Stadia red carpet. So much excitement looming for them. But first, and for the first time in the 2026 Women's Six Nations, we will savour these two great national anthems.
If you can stand, please now do so for the national anthem of our visitor today, the Flower of Scotland. Diolch yn fawr iawn, thank you very much. Nawr ein cyflenni, it's now our time. Please now sing with pride the national anthem of Wales. Cagwch gyda angen ein anthem genedlaethol ni, hen wlad fy nhadau.
Goosebumps right around the Principality, and ones which have nothing to do with the chill in this springtime Welsh air. Let's have a look at the teams. Sean Lynn has named the sort of pack which draws winces right from the team sheet. Big, powerful, nasty. They're hoping that teenage debutant Georgia Iono can follow in Cecilia Tuipolotti's footsteps and arrive like a hurricane at this level. Bevan and George will run Wales's attack from half-back, and Seren Singleton is moments away from becoming a senior international. She couldn't have a more immaculate touchline to stalk. Here it is, Sione Pukafuka's first selection. Skelton and Wassell, they are cornerstones. Cunningham and Stewart, rising forces. And Rachel Malcolm, one of the most impressive leaders in the game. She will no doubt soothe a few of debutante Emily Kubra's butterflies today. Here though, here is their super strength. This electric backline unleashed by dual playmakers Nelson and Smith. One a tactician, the other a mercurial creative. Chloe Rowley, she lives for occasions like these, and Campbell and Lloyd have been scoring for fun for Sale Sharks. Nothing subtle about Wales's bench, 6 forwards and plenty of snarl. Scotland's, meanwhile, is startlingly short on experience, with just 69 shared caps. In this one last year, they had 200s. In the red corner, the lowest ranked team in the tournament. Wounded but hungry with it, and with absolute belief that righting recent wrongs starts today. They are hosting at the Big House just once this campaign. They need to make it count. And in the blue corner, a new look Scotland. Their last World Cup cycle was transformative, but they are here to evolve yet again and kick off their grand tour of this tournament's swankiest stadium. Rachel Malcolm speaking so warmly in the week about the journey that this very young, very fresh-faced Scotland have been on in the last fortnight. It's not been plain sailing, she admitted, but we have each other's backs. No one will be allowed today in the heat of battle to feel vulnerable, to feel alone. This will take a whole squad thistled effort, despite the best efforts of that man there, Sean Lynn, who had less than a week to prepare last time before his maiden Six Nations with Wales women. He's had a year now, he's got a fresh backroom staff, he's got tyros like that one, Georgia Iono, and the talent coming off that crimson conveyor belt is really quite formidable. This head-to-head was one-way traffic from 2006 to 2023. Wales won all but one of these clashes. And then the pendulum swung, And then Scotland started to get a little toehold in this rivalry, and they've won the last 5 in all competitions against the Welsh. Not that she cares. She's here to watch a big fat red victory from Kayleigh Powell and from the rest of Sean Lynn's women. We've been slightly delayed here because Ella Goldsmith, our Australian referee, hasn't got her comm set. So we might be pausing for just a moment, which in fact gives me time to bring in the very special duo alongside me. So first of all, good afternoon to former Scotland international Heather Lockhart. Heather, you have been champing at the bit alongside me because this is the perfect curtain raiser for both sides, isn't it?
Absolutely, and what an atmosphere here at the Principality Stadium. Both sides just raring to go, and the lights show, the anthems, just absolutely just tearing at your heart. And it was great to see both sides. Leah Bartlett there on her 50th cap, talking to Emily Kubra on her first cap just before they were getting ready, but obviously there's a delay now, but nothing in it between these two.
We had the pleasure, Heather, of popping down here yesterday and observing both captains' runs. Smiles across both faces, 2 very relaxed squads. You get the sense they've been given permission to really swing the bat today.
Absolutely. Scotland at the World Cup won 38-8, but I got a feeling yesterday that Wales definitely had drawn a line underneath that, and they were very relaxed, very positive, and knew exactly, lots of clarity going through what they needed to do. And if it's Bethan Lewis there in the anthems, jumping up and down and singing her heart, absolutely ready to go, she will be absolutely leading from the front there from that Welsh pack.
Well, there is Kate Williams, captaining her national side for the first time in a Six Nations. She is Siwan Lillicrap, who has joined us up in commentary. The epitome of a Sean Lynn athlete, isn't she? She's so warm and passionate off the field, but on it, she's an absolute monster.
They call her Kate the Great, and that's for a reason. And she's a top person, Claire. She is a workhorse. Her mentality and the way that she drives standards is superb, and she'll lead the side really well today. I'm excited to see what she can do as captain this afternoon.
Do you agree with Heather's sentiment that Wales have drawn a line under that winless World Cup campaign, that there's a sense of newness to those women?
Yeah, there's definite sense of newness. You know, it's almost a clean slate, isn't it? A fresh start, new coaching group, new backroom staff. We've seen the Welsh Rugby Union announced just this week, so you know it's probably a fresh energy in camp as well, and 2 new caps out there today as well starting.
Well, there's the coaching ticket for Wales. In fact, large on your screen, you can see chewing his gum intensely, bottom right, that's Tyrone Holmes. He's their new defence coach, and in fact was in that same role with Scotland for 3 years until the World Cup. The gel tear you can see right in the centre, that's Steve Salvin. He's in on an interim basis as forwards coach, and you can't see him in picture, but Siwan, Ashley Beck, a Welsh centre, an Osprey centre, a Worcester centre. He's overseeing the attack, fresh off leading Brython Thunder to the semi-finals of the Celtic Challenge, and perhaps it's in their attack that we're most excited to see evolution.
Absolutely, I think Ashley Beck's out there on the field, so you might see him taking water and messages on, but you know, he's been with Brython Thunder a few years now, and actually 7 Brython Thunder players are starting in this Wales side in this 15 today. So maybe there's a reason for that, because Ashley Beck's attacking style might be different to what we've seen before, and we might see a different Wales attack, which probably we've all been craving for some time.
Well, their highest scoreline in the whole of last year's Six Nations Wales was 21 in this very match. It didn't get any better. There's Sione Fukafuka, centre of your screen there. This is great. Coaches never get enough airtime. We're doing a veritable who's who of the track-suited figures involved today. So Sione Fukafuka in the middle there. To the left, I mean, you couldn't have dreamt this with a Hollywood team of scriptwriters. That's Joanne Cunningham, who was Wales head coach for 3 years, Siwan, but is now in on a full-time basis with Fukafuka as a senior assistant coach with Scotland.
It's very interesting, this dynamic, Claire. So gone from Wales head coach, Wales defence coach as well, to now Scotland, probably now one of the biggest rivals we got. So there's a lot of changing of roles that have happened. So there's been a lot of chess played out there today from a tactical perspective.
And I'll tell you what, I'm really pleased we got to do that. We've gone around the houses, we've done the housekeeping. Ella Goldsmith has her microphone, so she is ready to oversee this one. Just so you have the full refereeing ticket as well. Go on, we'll name everybody involved today. Precious Pisani and Alexandra Fair are our touchline officials, and Graham Cooper has got all the angles in the TMO truck. Okay, here we go. The smoke from the pyrotechnics might have cleared, but the fireworks are only just getting started here at the Principality. Helen Nelson in blue for Scotland, playing from left to right, and Llaichi George with a beautifully executed clearance gets us underway.
Wales. A good gap, please. 4 on your front, lift
So
up.
we are up and running. Victories already for Les Bleus of France and the Red Roses of England in this opening round, this first Super Saturday. Lana Skeldon right to the tail. Emma Wassell down and onto Leah Brebner-Holden. Lovely line being around there in the midfield by the debutant Emily Kubra, but she couldn't quite gather, so scrum advantage for today's hosts.
Over.
Ciara Bevan, whose boot they rely upon so copiously in the Welsh outfit, and then a little dink from Chloe Rowley. Finds the scrum half again, who's beaten the first defender, but not the second, and very few get past Alex Stewart in defence. Well, both debutants with knock-ons there, one from Kubra, one from Iono. A little bit of nerves on display, perhaps the delayed kick-off affecting things, but we will have our first scrum, a Scottish put-in, so Heather Lockhart, this one's all yours.
Yeah, it was interesting. That was the first line out there.
Okay,
and the one coach we didn't mention was Dave Butcher, who's come in as forwards coach. And it's a great line out. Emily Kubra, just on her first count there, just knocking on, but it was an excellent line. And just a few kick battle there. Helen Nelson, Llaichi George. It will be an interesting kick battle there. And just a scrum here to Scotland. But great set piece here by Scotland to start with.
Crouch.
Bartlett, Skeldon and Clark, the Scottish front row. Pearce, Jones and Tuipulotu for Sean Lynn's side. And that, pretty much the dream first set piece.
Elbow down and collapse.
Rachel Malcolm, as ever, the first to lead the celebrations.
Yeah, just there, number 3, Cecilia Tuipulotu, just getting penalised there, just coming down, and Scotland have put it right in that corner.
Her brother Kepu was scoring for Bath at the Rec last night in the Investec Champions Cup. They're through to the semi-finals of that competition. So it's been some 24 hours for the Tuipulotus. That's a little swing back in the direction of Wales. Scotland's second line out is Pilford. Pearce's carry, the loose head who scored in this fixture 12 months ago. Bevan tasked with the clearance and does so neatly.
That's a great second exit by Wales. Off the first one, we've seen Llaichi George with a big boot towards halfway straight off the kickoff. And now another variation, setting up for a box kick, which is a kick-off 9 from the breakdown. And Bevan clearing superbly.
In, please. In and set.
Skeldon finds Holly Cunningham, the Bristol Bear, these days a Scotland international. Here's Kubra again. And her second carry goes much better through the hands of Bartlett, their newest half-centurion, and Nelson, as she so often does, keeps the defence honest, carries hard, ball in 2 hands. Or Cunningham shots! That a statement pile driver from new skipper Kate Williams. Skeldon with a little help from mates Bartlett and from Malcolm. Nelson once more with options.
No, compete! Tackler!
Brebner-Holden with that bullet pass. Such an intrinsic part of that Scottish backline now, the youngster. She's one of the newer faces in it, but the little number 9 has become one of the first names on the team sheet.
Release, Red!
Cunningham up to the 10. Nelson. Well, there's a lot of rugby being played by Scotland here, but they're going backwards.
This is a sign of maybe Tyrone Holmes' impact on Wales, looking really comfortable in defence. You're seeing 2 people in the tackle. Scotland not really going anywhere, Claire.
Not at all, and Tyrone Holmes knows this Scottish outfit, of course, inside out, and he will have loved that. Fabulous impact from Gwen Crabb.
Number 4.
For me, Scotland were just going lateral, across field there, left to right. Wales just comfortable. A wall of red in front of them, 2 in the tackle, slow ball. slowing Scotland down. They didn't get any gain line, and then they sniped at the right time, Gwen Crabb, to get over that ball.
Yeah, really solid there, and just a shout out to Kate Williams for that superb tackle, that setting, that tone, that defensive tone.
Sorry, I'll just open you up a little bit. Your mark there.
And just there at the breakdown there, Gwen Crabb being so effective at the Celtic Challenge competition, just getting right in amongst it there.
Yeah, I'll get them in.
Well, Gwen Crabb made the brave decision to leave Gloucester Hartpury to head back to Wales because she wanted to play her rugby at home and wanted to get minutes. Sean Lynn, huge on regular rugby in his athletes, and she has taken that opportunity and ran with it all the way to this field position as the Principality gets as loud as it has been all match. And look at the inroads they are making. It's delighting row A here in Cardiff. Keats with a little half break in at 12 today, growing accustomed to that centre position. Here's her midfield buddy, Cox, onto the debutant Singleton. Kaylee Powell losing her footing as Lisa Neumann. Real hustle there from her back three buddies to clear that one out. Here's the teenager Iono. She's 5'10" and so powerful with it. Only just turned 19, the look forwards. Lewis. Cox now. Bevan decides to use the boot on this occasion. There's a mark to be called, but miscommunication means that it isn't. Scotland taking each other out in the air. We have gone end to end via some passive Scottish carrying and a brilliant Gwen Crabb turnover. And now let's see how the visitors exit.
Here's an on.
It's great pressure by Wales. Pressure on Scotland, pressure on Helen Nelson there. And I think for Wales to be in this game today, they've got to apply that pressure to Helena. The last time these two teams met in Rugby World Cup, she pulled the strings. They don't want her to pull the strings this afternoon.
Didn't think it would be you bringing up the World Cup today, Shoan. I thought that would be Heather.
First and last, Claire, first and last time.
38-8, that one finished in favour of the women who have it now, a record margin. That, a really canny kick up through the midfield. Powell just looking down to see who was bearing down upon her. She's done so well. Kaylee Powell, take a bow. Hoovers up the crumbs. And then an extra 20 metres, working the short side is Bevan. Here's the newcomer, Sarah Singleton. Clubmates together there, two Bristol Bears. Beth Lewis.
Forward, back, four.
And a cannon from George. Well read by her opposite number.
Gwen Crabb's done really well then. She was the chaser on the edge, the second row forward. It wasn't a winger, but she did really well to control herself and stop the Scottish counter-attack.
So much rugby in this middle third so far. That
Great
offload's been picked up so well by Emma Orr. She is class personified. She's going to loft that onto Meryl Smith. Lloyd with one to beat, and she so often beats them, but she's going to give the assist to Chloe Rowley, who's got herself a try at the Principality, lighting the touch paper on this affair. And adds another peach to an already groaning highlights reel.
Absolutely superb play by Scotland there. Chloe Rowley on her 27th try for Scotland. But it was the pick-up by Emma Orr, who has been in imperious form. Just here, Kubra just offloads, it goes back, and Emma Orr is so quick on the bounce. The officials just checking here. But Meryl Smith as well, just back. 2024 was our last international match, and the pass back inside, and Chloe Rowley making sure that it's an easy conversion beside the sticks. Look at the delight from her.
I agree. Both sides.
Helen Nelson, immaculate from the tee in this one last year, picks up right where she left off.
Sometimes the best opportunities come from a bouncing ball. You don't know where it's going to go. It just stumps a defender. But what's impressive from Scotland here is the interlink in play. How many players are around around the ball carrier there. Chloe Raleigh, Meryl Smith, Stewart. There's numbers of blue in ample full down the end of the field.
And it's Rona Lloyd on that right wing. It gives the pass back inside to Rowley. Again, fantastic supporting play.
Release, Nina Ground!
Shona Campbell running that one back into heavy traffic. Her first cap since 2022. She's been away playing sevens. Kaylee Powell did the same.
Yeah,
She has returned mazier and trixier than ever from those adventures. Wales with the free hit.
It's not there. It is not there. We're playing a match. We're up here. You're always advancing in front of the kicker. Where's my mark? Here? Yeah. 6. Advancing.
And does it feel a little bit, you two, as though the
clear
first
next
10
time,
minutes is the knob of this one in a nutshell, in that we've seen Wales's forwards power, Wales's robustness and work rate, and then Scotland taking one opportunity and going 80 metres.
I was just talking to Sinead Harris, former Welsh international, and she went, Chloe Rowley still doing those runs, and there she is. So, but it was amazing. Great defensive sets and great attacking play, especially the kick, the box kicking from Ciara Bevan to get into that 22.
81 caps later, she's still doing those runs, Chloe Raleigh.
Kelsey Jones finding Lewis. And Wales are 10 metres from the perfect immediate response. If Scotland are bolts of lightning, then right now Wales are thundering boulders. And look at those red jerseys get to work. This is heading in one direction and one direction only. And Kelsey Jones rolls up giant sleeves and brings a little bit of muscle to proceedings. What a response.
Great response. The perfect kickback after Scotland scored. But look at this driving maul. Look at the forward pack build. Look at how tight they are in this maul. Patient, tight. They find an edge through Cecilia Tuipulotu, get momentum, and Jones, Kelsey Jones, knows exactly where that line is, and it's a great finish by the hooker.
Yeah, Kelsey Jones strong. Scored in 2022 in the pitch next door at Cardiff Arms Park, and just so devastating off that maul.
Ciara Bevan was also perfect in this fixture 12 months ago. Who will blink first? Not Ciara, not on that occasion. We are level in Cardiff. Well, we'll just listen in here because Rachel Malcolm, Scotland captain, has been summoned to the headmistress's office.
By number 1 on the goal line, but they scored the try, but she's still got to go to the bin. Number 1. Yellow card. Number 1. 1. Are you on?
I'm really surprised at that, Claire, because there's been no warning. I know it's the first maul. We're 10 minutes in or 13 minutes in. I'm really surprised she's gone straight to the bin there, especially because Wales scored at that opportunity.
Inside.
Well, not the way that Leah Bartlett was hoping her 50th cap would go. She'll be a bystander for the next 10 minutes, as yet again, Wales are crisp as anything off that clearance.
Shaky George has got her kicking boots on today. If you've seen her play for Gloucester Hartbury, she's got one of the best boots in the game, and a big field like it is here in the Principality Stadium. 2 great kicks beyond halfway from George in the opening quarter.
Well, that's why her nickname at club level is 50-22, because she manages so many of those magic territory burgling kicks. Scotland ball for now, though. Scotland attacking with 14. It's Stewart at the base of all of that, the open side, who made her debut in this fixture 2 years ago. The speed of that pass back from Brebner Holden. It's given Nelson so much time, although it's been very well read by Neumann. another one who's used the Celtic Challenge to play herself into form, to earn herself a berth in this Six Nations opener. Tuipulotu has just fended off Skeldon with one hand. Hands from Iono. George now. Bryony King with her first carry of the afternoon.
Really nice edge-to-edge stuff from Wales. Kira Bevan looking to come down blind, but look at them, they've gone all the way down the other touchline.
No tackle, no need of ground.
Pocket picked, here comes Stewart. Bevan makes her tackle though. That was nice from the scrum half, backpedaling frantically. Or finding Wassell. Tuipulotu looking for the strip. They were practicing those in the captain's run yesterday, those one-on-one rips.
Rachel, move back.
Or with the kick, and Powell dicing with death there.
Such good footwork. She did it before, just about 2 minutes before. Really good footwork, Kayleigh Powell.
Wait, two!
George thumps that off the field, but what an entertaining start this has been.
Yeah, set a good pop by Tuipulotu midfield, as you were saying, Siobhan, just side to side, really going edge to edge. But Alex Stewart, who was so good, here we have here Kayleigh Powell just stressing that Scottish defence. But Alex Stewart, who was so good 2 years ago, made her first cap here 2 years ago and was devastating in the turnovers and getting a great turnover for Scotland there.
Yeah, we've got time off. She said it's her neck.
Let's talk about Kayleigh Powell, Siobhan, because she's at 15 today. No Nell Metcalfe, one of Wales' most exciting players, but out with a knee knock at the moment. Because Kayleigh plays with someone you might have heard of, Ellie Kildunn, at Harlequin, she doesn't get much time at 15, but do you think that is her natural position? Where is Kayleigh best?
Oh, Kayleigh's got lots of caps at full-back, Claire, especially early on in her career. Probably the last 18 months, Wales have been exploring with her at 10, maybe 12, and so have Quins. And so she had most of her game time there at 10 or 12 in the PWR. But she understands the backfield, she understands the game, and what you've seen is as well, she's an elusive runner. We've seen her using her footwork to beat defenders already in this game, but also the way she'll navigate this defensive line from the backfield. Because of her game understanding as well, especially from playing 10, you can transfer that back.
And another kicking option, which Wales are really enjoying having already in this one. Flat across the face there from Nelson. It almost caught Stewart by surprise. But here's Orr at first receiver, and the handling from Scotland is the usual electric stuff.
Ball is right here. Ball is right here. You guys are trapping her in.
Referee has a very good look at that one. And here's Eliane Clark, who is receiving a little bit of attention, but after some running repairs, she seems all right, the tight heads.
Wait here, wait here.
Nelson hoists that one. Oh, it's been taken beautifully by Neumann. She's seeing it like a beach ball right about now, Lisa Neumann. Pearce. Double tackle. One of Scotland's favourite ways of getting to work defensively, and you need those sorts of shots against the might of Gwenllian Pearce, whose sister, Alau, is on the bench for Wales today.
Oof. Great bounce there. What a kick. We were talking about George there. Just give her those extra metres, but what a take by Lisa Neumann. She was practicing yesterday and in the warm-up, and her form through the Celtic Challenge really coming to the fore.
Yeah, it's a great kick by George, Claire, and you've recently said she's known as for her 50-22s, and people call her 50-22s. She's probably a couple of inches off it there. A wiper kick almost. She's gone from the other side of the sticks across field here. No backfield coverage. Helen Nelson trying to track across field. It's a brilliant kick by Cleaky George.
Wales are making Scottish lives miserable at the line-outs already this afternoon. And at the breakdown, they're having a pretty good day too, none more so than Gwen Crabb.
Her second, is it, Claire, of the afternoon so far? Brilliant start. And you know what? You mentioned decided to make the decision to come back and play for Brython Thunder. She's led Brython Thunder as well. She's captained them this year superbly. So her confidence is up there high this year because she's got plenty of game time. She's led Brython Thunder to a semi-final. And she's had a great start this afternoon, Gwen Crabb.
Yeah, her form in the Celtic Challenge has just been absolutely outstanding.
Kelsey Jones, the try scorer, picking out Beth Lewis, and Wales's maul getting to work again. This to hit the front for the first time. Rona Lloyd is doing everything she can. Rona Lloyd has done remarkably. She's held up half of Cardiff, and Wales will have to pick and go and do this the hard way, but they've got the advantage to work with here.
I've got this as a clear knock-on, Coops, unless you've got anything clearly different. But I'm going to go back for a 5 offside. Knock on there. We'll be on the 5 here. Yeah,
Rona Lloyd had
offside.
no right to hold that up, and then just spilt.
5 offside.
Real power play by Wales here. Superb start by them.
Driving maul always used to be a weapon for Wales, didn't it? Are we seeing that reignited now? We've seen 2 superb driving mauls so far in this opening 19 minutes.
Oh, clean catch by Cecilia Tuipulotu! Look at what it means! Tyro, juggernaut, inevitable. Cecilia Tuipulotu proves again and again and again that she is the real deal.
There's no one else you want at the back of the line now from an overthrow or a mishap line out, Claire, than Cecilia Tuipulotu. She is a powerhouse. She is a finisher in those tight ranges. There was never in doubt when that ball was in her hands. There was only one place she was going.
All good under the post. Thank you. If someone can just tell Rachel, I need that their attacking lineup to speed up a bit. If that's okay on their attack, they need to get their numbers, okay? Just pass on that message to Rachel, please. Thank you.
Leaves it late and denied by the woodwork. Kira Bevan with hands on her heads is all of us.
Yeah, we've seen Wales in previous matches, not perhaps recently so much, the effectiveness of them all, and there it is to the fore there. And Cecilia Tuipulotu coming back from injury last year, now back to full fitness, and what an absolute star performer, just so strong at the back of that line out.
For every Gwen Crabb or Lisa Neumann-Schuan in this Welsh side who have gone back to play in the Celtic Challenge and to get regular rugby that way, there is a Cecilia Tuipulotu who's stayed in the PWR, and she shares a position with Maud Muir, one of the best tight heads in the world, and that's how she's improving her rugby. And you can see the impact of Maud and of all those other Red Rose front rowers on her development.
You've just got world-class players throughout that pack there, haven't you? So the standards that they'll drive not only on a game day, but also throughout the week training, in your environment. But Cecilia's also been back and played 2 games with Brython Thunder, so she's got good game time under her belt there, and also been a huge impact player for Gloucester Hartpury this year, and she's pivotal to this Welsh side, absolutely pivotal.
Scotland's line out fluffs its lines once more. Wales on turnover ball. George, Keat, Cox now with a distinctive one-handed mazy carry. Tuipulotu with the pivot, and over the top it goes from George. Malcolm did very well to snuff that one out, to shoot up. Flaky George puts a foot wrong for the first time this afternoon.
I think definitely here as well. Yeah, George playing so well, but in terms of the kick battle, Helen Nelson as well, kicking to the right, but Lisa Neumann is in such good form. I think they've got to have a think about the effectiveness of that, especially when they're down to 14 as well.
Stay open in the middle.
Well, they won't be down to 14 for much longer. Leah Bartlett will be back on momentarily.
Great take.
Acrobatic from Wassell. Nelson on to Smith. Wales have flown up here, but they've found the edge here, Scotland. Oh, not for long. The speed of Singleton there to slam that door shut. Brebner Holden. Halfbacks in tandem, knocked on by Clark.
First by blue, then by red.
And right in time for this scrum, Scotland have Bartlett back.
But the line speed from Wales, they are really putting the passing and the execution of the Scottish attack under pressure, and that's exactly what Wales would have set out to do. Their defensive structures against Fiji, but you can see the vast improvement since that last game in the World Cup.
Completely agree, Heather. What's impressive for me is how they're connected. So people watching at home, when you see Wales come up, they are connected as a wall of red. You don't see gaps in their defensive line, and that's really hard for Scotland. I think then they're getting spooked because it's all they can see is red in front of them and connected red.
It's a big pack. We said it pre-match. Wales have named big, abrasive women.
Keep the elbows up! Elbows up!
And that's the outcome of that sort of uncompromising rugby. A lovely platform. No penalty forthcoming though. Iono from a standing start over the top of Skeldon. George calls for it and Pearce has a little bit of a run up. Stewart had eyes for the jackal, but nothing going, and Singleton has worked all the way across the pitch here at the home of Welsh rugby. She's hungry for work, the young winger. Kelsey Jones. And Wales have to be careful here of not falling into the trap that Scotland did and going laterally. That'll help from Iono. The 19-year-old on debut. Nelson's managed to shin that one backwards. Oh, and she's only gone and stolen it. Vice-captain leading from the front. Smith in at first receiver this time. Bartlett's had a little bit of a breather. Oh, and Wales have done wonderfully. Tyrone Holmes, new defence coach, must be purring up there.
He'd be a pleased man in this opening 25 minutes. I think it's been a huge improvement with the Wales defence. Again, comfortable. Look at this, two in the tackle. Kelsey Jones under ball. Gwen Crabb on ball, making sure she can't get down. Turns into a maul. And then the skipper, Kate Williams and Beth Lewis, making sure they can't present that ball and play back. So it's just stopping any momentum Scotland want to have.
Because Scotland did a great turnover. Helen Nelson with the charge down there and taking the ball. But again, got to be careful of turnovers. Last year in this match, Wales had 5 turnovers at half-time, 10 in total. And when they beat Australia last year, it was also 10 turnovers, so that's key for them.
Also, spare a thought for poor Leah Bartlett. It's her 50th cap. Yellow carded. And upon her return to the field, she finds herself wrapped up by Gwen Crabb and Kelsey Jones.
Yeah, it's not the start she would have wanted, Claire. It's not the start. And I do still think that card was really, really harsh in the opening.
Harsh.
No warnings. But hopefully she can dust herself off now and get into the game. But that might stay on her mind now throughout the game. Who knows? It's the pressure, and when things like that happen in a game, it does throw you.
She's made of stern stuff, though. She didn't get any starts in last year's Six Nations until the end, but came back to start all the matches in the World Cup. And you don't play loose head prop without being made of certain stuff.
I was just going to say, on all front row forwards made of stern stuff.
Absolutely, all forwards. Everyone out there.
That is a monstrous shove from the Welsh, but yet again Ella Goldsmith says nothing going in terms of reward for it, although Caris Phillips, who's so deceptively quick, she's got such a languid stride, she's just made another 15 hard-earned yards. Iono. Bevan. Bouncing ball for Lewis. Switching the point of attack. The little Welsh scrum half. Here she comes once more. George decides to lift this one right to the rafters of this place. Rolly's been taken out by Lloyd.
Yep. Release!
Back to her feet. Kubra. We've seen a couple of those mix-ups in the backfield for Scotland. And Wales, once again, come up with the goods on the deck.
They're getting reward from these turnovers. Be interested now to see what the skipper, Kate Williams, does with this. What are we, 35 metres out from the sticks, dead in the middle of the sticks. Shaky George.
The game tactic of want to hold players up, but yeah, I need a quicker release, but I don't want to communicate every single one. You guys should know when a tackle's made, okay? Yeah, okay, yeah, but I'll communicate the ones that are close, but for me, you guys, I think, are almost pushing the line. Yeah.
Ella Goldsmith overseeing her 15th Test match today. Her last was the bronze final at the World Cup at the Allianz Stadium.
Yeah, I think that was just a collision with Rona there, but just careful, and I think she's got back to her feet okay, but great take by Rona, but yeah, comms there by Rona Lloyd and Chloe Rowley. But here we see, yeah, not releasing there, Emily Kubra.
Okay, just bandaging.
Feel like she's hard done by there.
Do we sense some frustration creeping in the Scottish side, Heather?
Well, I have to just say, I'll just reiterate, just look at there, Bethan Lewis just chatting away, the desire and the lack of game time and the absolute clarity. We talked to Tyrone Holmes yesterday, Claire and I, and he talked about clarity in defence, and that was absolutely key, and it just looks like that's coming through in what Wales are trying to do at the moment, and certainly Scotland have got to find a way to go around it, and that try, their first try, was the way around it, so they need to try and get it to the edges.
Siobhan, without stating something that's too obvious, how important is clarity when it comes to defence? Because actually speaking to some of the Welsh girls as well at the captain's run yesterday, it's something that's been absent for the last couple of years.
For me, Claire, it's so important. That's an area of the game you can't have any grey, because if you're not clear on what your defensive policy is and you're not connected, then it just leaves holes for people to pick out an attack. So clarity is hugely important, and I think Tyrone's given them that from what I've seen today.
We're going to need that clarity now because Scotland have come up with the line out.
Wait.
Although Nelson's going to play the odds here and send that into row D.
Good tidy up there by Alex Stewart, a messy line out.
Stand on her inside so she doesn't.
Emily Kubra just.
You guys here, please. Yeah.
Just tidying up well there, Alex Stewart. Lana Stewart just gets hands to it, but a chance here again for Wales.
Do not huddle. Huddle again and I'll free kick you. Let's get in.
Kelsey Jones, watched on by daffodils and by minions and by a packed stand behind her at the Principality. And Georgia Iono looking very at home at this level. Tuipulotu can't keep hold of that one, so Scotland with scrum advantage. Shona Campbell shoots over to that far touchline.
Use it.
Helen Nelson, 85 caps and counting, barking orders from behind the massive blue bodies. And that's why assembled things really nicely and cleared with such class.
Class, that's a great word to describe Helen Nelson. I saw her face yesterday when they were in the warm-up and going through the processes, and that means so much to her, and probably more so now than she does when she had her first cap, but she has that composure. She's done skiing at the highest level. She has a real performance mentality.
Let's come in. Get in, do not huddle, okay?
Player of the match in this one last year, Helen Nelson. So they lost their attacking one up the other end, but that much nicer from Wales. George onto Cox, who's been beating a defender with every other carry in the Premiership this year for Ealing Trailfinders. Keat warming to the task in that Welsh midfield. George has a carry. Tucks it under one bicep, just keeping that Scottish defence honest. That's so important. Lovely hands from Jones. King arriving.
Off the foot.
The Gwalia Lightning captain. Captain 7 and Rugby League. And here comes another Sevens Supremo, Karis Cox. They're working the short side a lot today, Wales. It's clearly an instructive.
Wait.
George
Yeah.
sends that end over end, and it's outfoxed Campbell.
Which number? Which number? 4. High advantage. Get
And
penalty
Iono's
advantage 9.
Pinged
offside,
there,
in front of
so
kick.
Bartlett can work with Clark here into the guts of the Welsh defensive wall, knowing that they'll
You
come
got
back for the
advantage.
penalty.
Touched.
There's been another mix-up in the midfield.
I've got shoulder to shoulder there.
Meryl Smith there
On red side.
might not have been aware that there was
Okay.
penalty advantage there, but great to see Meryl Smith back in that Scottish midfield.
Where?
Another
Close to
class
Alex.
act and a great.
Okay. 4. In front of the kick and always advancing. Thanks, coach.
George Iono, yeah, just in front of the kicker. So
4.
Scotland gets some meters from this penalty and an opportunity to take advantage from this field position.
That came off the boot all wrong for Helen
Just
Nelson.
on me, Alex, I've got your mark here on the change of colour of the grass.
Yeah, it did. It didn't look a pretty one from Helen
The change
Nelson.
of colour in the grass is the line, so let's
Wales would be a
step
bit
off that.
relieved, actually. They're not into their 22.
Get in.
Rachel Malcolm, who received more Scottish lineouts than anyone else last year, brings that one safely down and draws the penalty. Campbell with a wonderful bit of footwork. Stewart's there in support. Wales all of a sudden bailing frantically defensively. Back against the grain from Nelson. Big old clear out from Bartlett, and Scotland into the 22. Round the corner comes Brebner Holden. So mischievous. Ball in hand.
Release!
Debutant, Coolborough. Right before the sticks now, so that's kickable. That'll be 3 points if Scotland want them.
That's rock solid from Scotland there.
Or one back there at the line out. You got one right here for 4 hands in the rough, or one over there for contact in there in the line out.
Given that 6 of the last 7 of this fixture have been decided by 5 points or fewer, where do you go, Heather?
Well, last time it was decided by 1 penalty. It was 24-21, so they're going for the penalty. Helen Nelson knows in these situations, Wales are on form today. Their defensive processes are there. Every point is going to count. But what a break there. Absolutely lovely offload there from Shona Campbell. Great to see her.
I was just about to say, actually, Wales don't need to be desperate. They're ahead, and the penalty count at the moment is against Wales. So I think Wales are on 5 penalties conceded. Oh, no, sorry, 3 penalties conceded, Scotland are on 2. But those 3 penalties have just crept in. So Wales don't need to be desperate, and they don't want to give Scotland easy ins, because if we're honest, they've been dominant in this first 30 minutes through defence and attack.
Great take there by Helen Nelson just to reduce that deficit and keep Scotland within touching distance of Wales as we're on the 34-minute mark.
Fuka watching on. Coached the US Eagles to the last World Cup. He spent time as an assistant coach with the Wallaroos, the World Cup before that. So he's working his way around the nations. He was an English teacher before he got into coaching. And in case you're wondering, his favourite book is To Kill a Mockingbird.
Is that one of your favourites as well, Claire?
It actually is, Shuan. It actually is.
Everyone read that in school, right?
Everyone read that in school, but some of us liked it so much we've read it again since.
Okay. Maybe I should.
Tell you what, we will, no pun intended, we will shelve that conversation, Shuan. We will resume book recommendations at the full-time whistle. I'll tell you what, we'll do it at half-time. But Wales have a line out here, dead centre field. 5 minutes remaining on half. But as you say, they have dominated, but Scotland have been ruthlessly efficient when they've had their chances. And all things considered, they might well go in the happier. That'll
Great
help.
turnover.
Scotland on turnover ball. This is where they are lethal. And look at the pace and power of both of those athletes. Stewart into contact, Keat with the tackle. Brabner Holden somehow kept hold of that Smith. With a tricksy little carry. Playing narrow here in these channels. Raleigh floats that onto Lloyd, who's been imperious for Sale Sharks this year in the Premiership. 11 tries and counting. Fresh from winning Elite 1 with Stade Bordelais in France. Welcome to senior test match rugby, Emily Coulborough. Cecilia Tuipulotu has just carried her like a handbag 10 metres. Brabner Holden into the pocket.
Wait in front here.
Nelson gave that everything. Oh, and that much too casual from Kaylee Powell.
Always inside, always inside.
The midfield tackles though by Wales, absolutely superb. Courtney Keat, just the leg drive. It's the secondary leg drive as well. The initial tackle's good, but it's the secondary as well. Scotland need to work it away from that midfield. They need to ride those midfield tackles. Look at that by Courtney Keat. Oh, Alex Stewart, yeah.
Technically really good, nice and low, takes her legs away from her. Then she can't run anywhere, so it's a great tackle by Keat.
Beneath the rafters, the illuminated rafters of this rugby cathedral, Skeldon finds her woman. Now Scotland have so many numbers out wide. If only they can get it there. That is a peach of a pass from Nelson onto Raleigh. Campbell's offload can't find Lloyd, but it does find Brabner Holden, but not before it's gone forwards.
Lucky escape there, and I think by Wales. Lovely slick pass in by Scotland. Lovely ball by Raleigh. Good footwork on the edge. And then luckily, I think Lloyd just fumbles it forward in that offload. But the first time maybe we've seen Scotland get the ball wide. We haven't seen their wingers off phase play with a ball in hand often yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna make that comment, yeah. So let's set up. We're gonna keep playing because she's up.
Yeah, definitely Shona Campbell. GB7s last played in 2022 in the New Zealand World Cup against New Zealand, but it's a real talent, absolute talent, and just needs a bit of space. And we said, ride those midfield tackles and play wide, and they did that just there.
So I'm going to start in there, and then when I'm happy, I'll move out. And then can you feed to my left, please? Yeah. Crouch!
Almost feel like there's been a bit of a momentum shift this last 10 minutes of territory and possession between both sides.
Set! Steady!
2 points the difference. 90 seconds remaining. Scotland.
That's huge!
Coming up clutch, and Heather Lockhart roars her approval.
She loves scrums, Heather.
Yeah, absolutely. Wales have had the upper hand recently, and rightly so, but there, Scotland just got their processes right. I knew it was a really important field position. Holly Cunningham there on the tight head side and in the second row. Back after the Six Nations 2024 from a hamstring injury. Great power there from her.
If we get to watch it back, you see the connection wasn't quite right with the ball going in from Kira Bevan and the hook from Jones, which then kept the ball stuck, which allowed Jones with 1 foot off the floor, Scotland to come through.
Oh, and Scotland just concede the dummy throw.
By the hooker. Free kick.
That's really tough. That's really tough.
I think you can see Skeldon there. She can't hear. It's actually really, really loud in this stadium in the Principality this afternoon. So I don't think she's getting the call because she can't hear. The crowd behind her is really loud.
Hence the dummy throw. That's really tough, really tough.
Such a seasoned operator. Lana Skeldon started 82 of her 84 caps, 83 of 85 today, and every time she's unavailable, both Bristol Bears, her club side, and Scotland are so much poorer for her absence. She's such a linchpin.
Just seeing that replay there, she goes to throw, just wondering what the call is, just wants confirmation, it has to throw again. That dummy throw not allowed.
No chances taken there, but Tuipulotu gets a paw on it. And as the clock goes red, it will be Wales who have the final say. And Kira Bevan says that will do to open our accounts for the first 40 minutes in 2026. Let's head into the belly of the home of Welsh rugby and let's take stock, shall we? It has been entertaining. It always is when this Celtic kerfuffle rolls into town. Tries from Rachel Malcolm's side, courtesy of Chloe Rowley, and a penalty from Helen Nelson. Kelsey Jones and Cecilia Tuipulotu for the hosts. This one hanging beautifully in the balance.
No. Okay, that was a good first half, wasn't it, guys? And if stats are your thing, back at home, cast your eyes over these little beauties. Girls, what are we reading in to those stats? Does that tell the story of the first half for you?
Yeah, well, you know what? It's pretty generic in regards to the stats. They look pretty equal, but what it doesn't tell you on that is the effectiveness. As particularly, I'm looking at the tackles. The tackles are almost the same on both sides, but the Welsh tackles have been stifling play. They've been hindering, specifically the Scottish backs, from getting any joy. So really effective defensive structure from Wales. You can definitely see Tyrone Holmes' influence. And for me, that's the difference between these two teams at the moment, is the dominance that Wales are getting and the confidence from the Welsh defence.
Yeah, we were talking, weren't we, about Tyrone's influence in the stands, and we will have a look at Wales's physicality later. But do you go along with that's what's been the difference in that first half?
Yeah, definitely. Like, Scotland are having slow ball, and that's created from the double collision. They're struggling to get the ball back. There's lots of bodies, there's lots of intent in that collision, so they're getting held up a lot, which means that you're not being able to play quick, you're not able to identify gaps, and that's when you slow the ball down or ultimately get turned over.
It was a strange old start, though, wasn't it? There was a bit of a delay to kick off, given the problems with the officials' mic. So how does that feel for the players? Because I know Scotland was so fired up in the tunnel when Siobhan and I were talking earlier on. I mean, does it play a little bit on the mindset once you step out there and then you have to wait?
Yeah, I think it does to an extent. Obviously, you've seen the Scotland girls go straight in together as a collective to get some handling done. But obviously, you're so fired up, you're ready, you've sung your song, you've had your pre-match talk, you're ready to go. So when there is a delay, it does kind of calm the nerves, and it's hard to get straight back up as soon as it's go time again.
Would it be fair to say, though, after their opening 40, that Wales will be the happiest in that dressing room?
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, I think their defence has been fantastic. It's been really gutsy. We've seen individuals putting up their hands as well. Lots of players standing out. Gwen Crabb, how good has she been? You know, her Jacqueline, don't underestimate. She's like 10 foot tall and she's getting out 1 foot over the ground, you know. Brilliant athleticism. And then they've been really composed in the 22. Claky George kicking into the right positions of the field, and then the forwards composed, line out, drive out more. It's been a really good, drastically far away from the performances of last year. So brilliant performance so far.
Right, shall we have a look at some of the tries then? And we'll start with the Scotland opening try. And you mentioned Meryl Smith, you mentioned Emma Orjay's pre-match, and they played their part in Chloe Rowley's opener, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Emma Orr identified the drop ball. You could then see the pickup, you see the gap, and she's looking what's around her. Meryl knows exactly where she is. You can see her put her hand up, calling for it on the right-hand side. But it's the support lines that come through as well. Lisa Neumann turns her hips, and Ronan knows Chloe Rowley is on her inside, ready to break through. But that centre partnership and knowing where each other are is what built that try.
And I think it was the interplay for me as well that was great to see, Philippa.
It was brilliant. You know, I actually applauded this. You have to. You know, the work rate from all of the Scottish players to follow through. Emma Orr, how classy is she? I mean, I love it when a player at international level has made a break like that and it looks like she's running in the park. She was just looking around, where's my support? I know the ball, I need to play. And then they scored under the post. But you said it beautifully, actually, with Scotland, about their creativity, you know, the fact that Wales have really built into this. Their tries have been structured, they've earned them, whereas Scotland, they've sort of been a bit more opportunistic. Still very good, but it's been opportunistic.
Yeah, and I feel like Wales, you know, they came back in it thanks to their set piece. And I don't know how much you enjoy watching line-outs and mauls, Philippa, but I'm going to get you to talk over Wales' tries now.
I mean, I cheer them on really well.
I know you cheer them on.
No, and in fact, actually, it was brilliant sitting next to Jade because she knew as soon as they got that momentum, for 2 or 3 seconds, if you get that rolling forward, there's just no way that team can stop it legally. And it was brilliant play by the forwards to be able to peel off at the exact right time and rejoin. That's quite a skill to have.
Yeah, you can see, obviously, Leah Bartlett's come in there because there's no stopping it. She's had to collapse it. Ultimately, it resulted in a card, which was unfortunate. But once you get that rumble on, you work for 5 seconds, but then as soon as you let off the gas, they're straight over.
And then the second try, then the girls said in comms, if there's anyone you want at the back of the line-out when in a situation like that, it's Tuipulotu, right?
Absolutely, that's got to be the worst person from a Scottish perspective to look up and see charging at you. And look, it was a mistake. It wasn't a trick play. That was a mistake, but that's why you do have her there, because she's very athletic. She reads the ball really well, catches it, turns, step, and over.
I feel like we've touched upon it already, but I want to go deeper into it, because one thing that Sean Lynn has spoken about quite a lot coming into this game, and after last Six Nations and after the World Cup, is he wants to see more physicality from this Welsh team. He wants to see better defence, but ultimately more physicality. And I think we've 100% seen that in the opening 14.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it all came from the defence as well, when we see a couple of big shots going in, especially when your captain does it. How good is that, Kate Williams? But we've also been seeing double shots, 2 players going in and slowing down play, and making sure that the person who's carrying the ball isn't falling on their terms. So if they're falling in a position, especially if they're on their back, that gives the opportunity for Wales to get those turnovers, which have been really key to stifling Scotland momentum.
I think what you can see there as well is the ball carrier's running as a single runner, the latch is late, and then they're slow to the contact. So when you've got one player versus a double tackle, it's really, really hard to get gain line from that. So Scotland need to latch onto that contact to be able to have double the body weight to actually fight through that collision, because Wales are doing a great job at having those double shots and really slowing down the play of Scotland.
I am listening to you, Jane. I'm just looking at all the kids passing, but I think we've got every child that lives in Cardiff walking behind us. It literally hasn't stopped. Hey, hey. Hi, Siobhan. I have to say hello to you as well. We were just waxing lyrical about how physical Wales have been in that opener 40, and I know that's something we've spoken about pre-match, something you wanted to see today as well.
Oh, absolutely. I just think Wales look comfortable in defence. I see a red wall out there. There's 2 in the tackle. I know the girls have probably just said that. Slowing Scotland ball down. And Scotland are just going edge to edge. They haven't got the opportunity to attack because the collisions are physical. And we've just seen the missed tackles on the screen. I think it's only 6 missed tackles from Wales. 12 months ago, or even 6 months ago, that would have been double. So that's the difference today.
Yeah, they almost look like a different side. And I know you know Sean Lynn very well. Ooh, we had a 6-7 going on there as well. Are you impressed that I actually knew what that was?
I am.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Siobhan didn't. I know you know Sean Lynn very well. So we've spoken about physicality. What else will he have really enjoyed from that opening 40?
I think there's 2 things for me in attack. So Flaky George as well. Her kick in for territory has been outstanding. From the kick-off, managing to get Wales back down to the half, but also we're seeing Bevan on the short side of attack, so we're testing Wales's at Scotland's defence because we go on either side. So Kira Bevan's coming short side, or we're going open, so it's really challenging to defend against.
Absolutely, and we have got plenty of sport coming up for you across the BBC, of course. Who's going to win the famous green jacket? That's a question that we're all asking at the moment, but to be fair, Rory McIlroy is looking pretty good at the moment, isn't he? Coverage of the 3rd round of the Masters Golf continues from 9 o'clock this evening on BBC Sound. Tomorrow from 12:30, it's the Rugby League Challenge Cup quarter-final between Wakefield Trinity and Wigan Warriors. The British Swimming Championship starts on Tuesday from the London Aquatic Centre. You can watch that on BBC iPlayer throughout the week. Next Saturday, Scotland take on England in round 2 of the Women's Six Nations. Of course, coverage of that begins at 1 o'clock. And as ever, there's a variety of things available for you to watch over BBC iPlayer.
Everything we knew about travel does not apply.
It's lovely down here. It's like sunbathing on the beach.
Ready to rock and roll? Let's go.
Molly, come on.
Sorry for ruining your photos.
I'm running on adrenaline now.
Good. Race across the world. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
Okay, and we're going to race across Europe now as well, because this isn't the only game that's been played this Six Nations, of course, round one. A little earlier on, it was France against Italy, and the French were hoping that they could eventually, maybe this season, I don't know, can overcome England to lift this title. But they've started it off in the right vein against the Italians. They're only 5-0 up at half-time, though. 6 tries for them earlier this afternoon, including this one here from Pauline Barre, which meant it was Francois Ratier's team who are celebrating that one this afternoon. And before we kicked off here, England saw their way past Ireland at Twickenham, the world champs, taking that by 33 points to 12. It was always going to be a challenge at HQ for the Irish. 5 tries for the Red Roses, one of which you've just seen to Jess Breach, that got the bonus point on the 50-minute mark, and another for Ellie Kildun in the second half to seal the victory. And the Red Roses looking very happy at HQ this afternoon. I mean, I think, girls, as well, we know what to expect from England, and I feel they did look comfortable throughout, but that second half was quite tight. Ireland scoring 2 late tries, 12 all in that second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we've got to put some perspective on it. It was only 2 years ago that Ireland lost 88-10 in Twickenham. Now, it's Twickenham, it's nil sellout, 75,000 people. It's a really scary place to go. So Ireland keeping England under 40 and scoring against them, that is a positive for Ireland. Look, you could almost say that England are almost one World Cup cycle ahead of the other teams. That's kind of the golden gap. But I think Ireland certainly did take it to them. Like you say, 12-12 in the second half. So a lot of positives to take from that.
And you were mentioning in that first half when we were talking about the England-Ireland game, you were saying, no, Ireland would have got into that game 100% thinking they could have won that.
Absolutely, and I do think that is a point of difference sometimes against England. The last thing you want is to just expect that you're going to lose. Nobody wants that. Everyone wants to be England, and I fully know that Ireland would have went into that with every expectation that they could, and they can. I think that score reflection shows that there is so much growth from that Ireland side and still so much more to come, and to actually the world champions, to pull them that close, because that is a good score against England, is great. So really excited to see what Ireland will bring for the rest of the campaign.
Yeah, because I think it's probably fair to say, England aside, Ireland will probably be France's main challengers. And I mean, we don't really know what to expect from France's Six Nations, because they've got a new head coach too, which makes this competition so exciting this term, Sharon.
We never know what to expect from France, do we?
Right,
never, ever. Just because the way they play. You never know what you're going to get. They like to keep the ball alive, but Italy were in their first half, weren't they, today? So, to be fair, Italy are improving all the time, but then France just can run away with it with their jouet style of rugby, keeping the ball alive, elusive style. So, let's hope that the competition stays close throughout this Six Nations.
Yeah, we've been shouting for the last 5 minutes. We can't hear ourselves think here. The noise is so loud, but it's quieting down a little bit now. So let's find Jenny Drummond. She's hanging about the tunnel area, I think, somewhere. Jenny, who have you got?
Thanks very much, Sarah. Yes, I'm hanging about with 2 second rowers. First of all, Sarah Bonner of Scotland and Natalie John of Wales. We were actually just loving the half-time set there. It's a great vibe here. For you, this is obviously, Natalie, your home stadium. It's the Principality. How special is this for you all?
Yeah, it's incredible, and what's been great is we've had a girls' hub over at Cardiff Arms Park as well, and to have them all come over and to be able to experience this with us is just fantastic, and it makes it even better when they're all cheering for us.
It does indeed. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of the match in just a second, but I want to ask how you are, Missy. This is the second Six Nations. We've had to do an interview at half-time because you've been on the wrong side of injury. So how the devil are you?
Not too bad. I think it's a curse of being a second row. You're kind of in the mix of things and therefore just pick up injuries. But the back's doing well. We started return to contact, so hopefully it'll be back soon.
Well, fingers crossed indeed. Now, off here, Sarah just said that, Wales are playing too well for her liking. Is that, what do you say to that?
Yeah, I think they're playing like an expansive game. They're stretching us, and defensively they're getting off the line. And I think potentially we need to do that back at them, get off the line, shut their attack down.
You want to be on there?
Yeah, a lot.
And you, Natalia, what do you make of how Wales are playing?
Yeah, it's going really well. Since Ashley Beck and Tyrone Holmes have come in, they've worked really hard to put in new systems into us, and it's just great to see the girls being able to put it out on the park today. It's just, if we can get a control on our discipline, hopefully we can get over the whitewash a bit more.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you on the pitch very soon, and yourself. Get well. It's great to see you. We'll see you in Murrayfield as well, won't we?
Yeah.
Banging the drum.
Banging the drum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies, thank you so much.
No more drums, please. I think I've had enough drums in the half-time break. Let's talk about this second half then, because I'm looking at both benches. And Jade, I think it's probably fair to say that Scotland's that bench is brimming with potential, but there's a few new caps there. When are you expecting them to be deployed after that first half?
To be honest, I think the half-time chat, Scotland will be disappointed with that first half, so I do think the squad that are on the pitch will come out absolutely firing. They just need to absolutely empty themselves in the next 20 minutes, and then you can bring on those fresh legs. So hopefully we'll look around 60, 65 minutes to start bringing on some freshness as well.
Yeah, because I think it's fair to say, you know, Wales have got far more experience in terms of players to come on, Philippa. But like, they would be very, very content with that first half, and I would imagine things are pretty positive in the Welsh dressing room at the moment.
I think they're positive, but I think it'll be a nil-nil chat. You know, don't rest on your laurels, we've got to go again. And you look at that bench, Wales has got nearly double the amount of international experience on that bench in comparison to Scotland. So, you know, we're not looking to bring on debutants, we're looking to bring on Georgia Evans, Donna Rose, really experienced players.
OK, let's get you back to comms for the second half then. Siobhan Lillicrap, Heather Lockhart and Claire Thomas.
This one, as Courtney Keats said in the week, so often sets the tone for the remainder of the campaign. Go well in your opener against your not-so-dearest Celtic rivals, and you can carry a lot of momentum into all that is to come, into clashes with the titans of this tournament, into the meat and potatoes of the Women's Six Nations. But if the wheels come off the bus, it can be awfully difficult to regather yourselves, to refocus the minds, but that is exactly what Scotland will be doing as they receive this kick-off, trailing by 2 points. And that from Helen Nelson, exactly what's needed doing, Heather Lockhart.
Yeah, I would imagine the team talks, Wales, more of the same, put it in the corner, use that maul to such great effect in this. Cleiki George putting them, kicking them into the right areas of the pitch. Scotland keeping ball in hand more, avoiding those amazing midfield tackles that Gwen Crabb and Courtney Keats are doing, and moving it wide using Lloyd, Shona Campbell and Chloe Rowley who scored that try.
It is easy and perhaps lazy to say that this one is Wales's pack up against Scotland's backs. That's how the team sheets appear, but the fact of the matter is Wales's forwards are doing extraordinary, bruising things.
Impacted tacklers.
And Scotland's backs, when they've had their opportunities, Heather, plundering the Welsh 22 for over 3 points a visit, they are really making that territory count.
Yeah, Scotland were disappointed with missing out in that after that amazing scrum just before half-time and just not being able to convert that line out. So they'll get their processes right at line out. They've lost 4 line outs in the first half. Wales have lost 3, so both sides could tighten up in that area, both competing well at that line out to disrupt each other's line out.
Sorry, that was for them. Yeah.
Lots of the stats have shown rust, if we're being honest. There are plenty of handling errors, fluff lines at the set piece, as you've alluded to. There's another one there. And it really is a little harsh on these two sides that a match which is so often definitive, campaign affecting, is the first one out the traps for them.
Yeah, 3rd time in a row. Great tackle there. Helen Nelson again putting her shoulder in.
Bevan finds Pearce, the loose head, who will just carry and carry and carry. Tries in the last championship against Scotland and against Italy. Here's Crabb in that daffodil yellow bow. She's had a fantastic first 40 minutes. Steepling from George, a real tester for Campbell, whose blushes were spared by her scrum half, but
Knock on 11,
offside.
and 9 is offside, it's over here.
Cleiki George knows exactly what they're doing, the height in that kick, asking the Scottish defence real questions there, and just knocked it on and then offside there in the regather. So penalty here to Wales.
Cleiki George, she's featured in the last 23 matches for her club side, Gloucester Hartpury, who are the back-to-back English Premiership champions. Such a tactician, has a really good feel for the game.
10.
Yeah, it was tough there. That ball actually went back and then just went forward in the end. And Leah Brevin offside. Great take.
Deft as you like. That from King finds Iona. She's forced that offload a little bit, and Lana Skeldon is screaming for the knock-on, but Wales still have it. Straightening and then flooring the accelerator in no uncertain terms there was Jones. Bevan has found herself very well wrapped up there. And we've seen this a few times from both of these sides. The maul is formed. Emma Wassell leading the charge, and Scotland have it back.
Wales did that to Scotland in the first half, and I think they'll be talked about at half-time. A bit more physicality and a bit more bite just to round out those tackle area. And Eliane Clark just showing her form there. Got injured in the second match in the World Cup there, but just working so well with Alex Stewart. Alex Stewart, number 7. And Emma Wasso there just getting in amongst it as well. And Lana Skeldon always talking, communicating, helping her teammates.
If only we could read what Sean Lynn has scribbled in that notebook. So much good stuff. A few screws in need of tightening. But having had just a week to prepare for his first Six Nations with this group, this is when we really get a measure of what the Lynn era will be about. This campaign really matters for the women in red and those watching on from the coach's box.
Keep the height! Use it on reset, we're going across the field.
What an arm wrestle that was. Eventually it's extricated by the debutant Kubra. Smith with some jinking work, and Wales have stolen this. Or not. The forearm of Helen Nelson with a little bit of sorcery. So it's Smith who will clear. And clear she does.
Yeah, good composure there by Scotland. Meryl Smith there just making an excellent clearance kick, but well done Helen Nelson on the floor there, just keeping hold of that ball for all that she was worth.
I also found it interesting, Claire, that Scotland were playing from 5 metres out. So what was the message at half-time? There might have been a little bit of space, but that is a bit of a danger zone. They were quite deep into their own 22 and into their own half there.
Arcing throw from Kelsey Jones, who scored Wales' first points of this campaign early on in that first half. Oh, and they've only gone and lost it. Scotland will feed. And we should, as much as we talk about the players on the field, Heather and Shuan, we should talk about some of the absentees, because they will mould this opening fixture. Because for Wales, Alex Callender, their captain, their wrecking ball, Nell Metcalf, not available for selection. Fran McGee, Scotland's top try scorer for the last campaign, she's not fit right now. But equally, Evie Gallagher at the base, Totemic, Talismanic, and so many greats of the Scottish setup stepping away after the World Cup. Jade Conkle, Katie Massens and Jenny Maxwell, Beth Blacklock, Christine Belisle, all retiring. It's very new look team sheets.
Very new look, and almost a start of a new era with those retired players you just mentioned, Claire, but also key players from both sides missing through injury. But actually, what is really pleasing, that was a quality first half. So despite quality players being missing, other players are stepping up. So is that a sign nations are getting better strength and depth now as well?
Absolutely, and both playing in the PWR and the Celtic Challenge, giving the visibility of that depth.
Smith at first receiver and carrying like a battering ram, using Bevan as a speed bump. Rolly, no look floats onto Lloyd, and here's Campbell, who's been a live wire on her return to the Test match arena. Nelson, awkward to gather there, but Bartlett did so brilliantly. Looking this way, and that is Brebna Holden, all with it now. Got low, pumped hard, still going.
Wait here, wait here, wait here. Yep.
Nelson sends that up towards a beautifully stationed Kaylee Powell.
Retreat, Red! Retreat! On.
Nelson once more, and the work rate from Neumann. It's won them a half charge down there.
Move back, Red, move back!
Bit of kick tennis, back and forth between two nations that kicked an awful lot in last year's campaign. Scotland generally for distance, Wales a bit more contestable, and they've gone and contested that one all right, but no.
You lost it and you went back onto the ball. Hands, yes.
Ciara Bevan, just an extra hand there.
Hands.
Tough. Ella Goldsmith very clear today in her comms.
You always know what Ciara Bevan's thinking, don't you? Never in any doubt.
Always shows exactly how she's feeling on her face and with her actions. One thing with Ciara is you know where you stand.
She's also a slightly unwelcome sight for Scottish eyes, because last week, forget it was at the World Cup before last that her penalty kick knocked them out at the group stage. She's got history against the women in blue.
On your front, stay on your front lifter.
And it's Evie Gallagher from Scotland who normally does her game day hair, so goodness knows who's done that today. Clean snatch, brilliant steal for the Welsh at the line out. That's the 5th Scotland have lost in 50 minutes.
No, out. You're fine. Don't change your inside shoulder.
Wales get a rumble on once more at the Mall. It's been their best player so far. Pearce onto George. Ooh, crossfield kick. Who's waiting for it? It's Singleton, but she can't gather.
Into touch, okay.
Lots of space out there. Well spotted by George. I don't know if the message come in from the wide players. Singleton on the edge. But look at this space in the wild channel. Lovely kick pass by George.
Yeah, I'll ask.
Just fingertips from Singleton, but the right idea.
She seems to have so much time when she does that kick as well. Her vision exceptional. Hand up from Singleton, but a tough one there, was spiralling slightly.
And from a tactical point of view then, for people watching at home, from George doing that crossfield kick, it will question now what Scotland do next. So will they put wider spaces in their defence, and is there opportunities for Wales to exploit other areas? So changing your game in attack just makes defence question what you're going to do.
Keep the stability. Keep the height, stay square.
One of Ashley Back interim attack coaches' keywords has been express. He wants the women in red to express themselves out on the fields. And there was George painting in bold Technicolor.
Stand up. Stand up. If we need more space to find the bind, let's do it on the setup, okay? Let's set up again. Yeah. Just make sure it comes straight down, not straight down and forward, okay? And same with you guys. Let's all just come straight down together. Okay.
No changes made yet by either coach. Wales have gone 6-2, forwards backs on their bench, so they want a bit of grunt down the home straight. Scotland have gone with the more traditional 5-3.
Shoulder for me. Crouch!
At some point, they'll break the glass, marked Evie Wills and Lucia Scott, and things might get awfully exciting down there.
Start, steady, hold the hips, keep the height.
Clean as a whistle for Brebner Holden once again at first receiver at Smith, so that Nelson
move back.
can absolutely thwack that. That wouldn't have looked out of place. Oh my goodness, Shona Campbell out of nowhere! New cycle, same irresistible Scotland. Shona Campbell appearing as if by magic and putting Scottish noses back in front.
That's an absolutely huge moment for Shona Campbell and Scotland. What an opportunity, her first try for Scotland. Great interplay off the set piece, off the scrum. Lovely kick, and we thought it was going to be Chloe Rowley, but it was Shona Campbell just watching that ball intently, and what a finish. GB7's player didn't make the Olympics, but making her first try in the 15s for Scotland today after 4 years away from the 15s international game. Well done, Shona Campbell.
A score that will mean the world. Potentially 2 critical extra points, courtesy of a flawless Helen Nelson, who made it and then converted it.
Backfield from Wales there. It's got to be careful with the bounce of the ball. Need to try and catch that ball straight off the kick, but if you can't, it can't bounce twice, and then the bounce went in Shona Campbell's favour, and it's a great take and a great finish by the Scottish winger.
2 changes made by Sean Lynn. One Pearce leaves us and another one arrives. So Gwen Llian is off, replaced by Meg Davies at loosehead, and in the engine room it's Alau Pearce on for debutant Georgia Iono. Suffice to say, as Alal perhaps has her first carry of the afternoon, there will be plenty more, but he has replaced explosivity with more of the same.
Advantage. Roll.
There's a Scottish tackler not rolling away at the base of all of that, and Ciara Bevan says, I will make something happen here all by myself. Oars holding her knee in real pain.
Isolated and holding.
Scotland have the turnover, but all eyes right now are on their outside centre.
I think we've got a serious
Emma Orr just did a tap tackle, but I think, yeah.
I'm just going to call time off because I think this is a knee. Yeah.
Time's off now.
She looked in pain, didn't she?
15. Can I just have the ball?
Doesn't look good for Orr.
Yeah, it must have been the angle that...
It's great tempo by Bevan, though, isn't it? If she just needs another player with her, she's a little bit stuck. But oh, yeah, knee there. She just plants, gets the tap tackle on Bevan. But on this plant, unfortunately, yeah, you see her knee. You hate to see that.
She knew immediately, yeah, she was signalling.
A credit to Bartlett and Clark then. Two Scottish props, they're the ones that are first in the breakdown for the Jackal. Front rowers working back, working really hard for Scotland, getting the turnover. That's great work at desperate times by the Scottish front row.
Absolutely, they're getting into their stride. I think that first half, first international back after the World Cup, but they're getting their straps in now.
And it really was an amazing World Cup for the Scots. The record-breaking defeat inflicted upon Wales. They gave Canada 50 minutes of proper heart-in-mouth stuff, saw off a very spirited Fijian challenge, and then England ultimately, en route to a 33rd consecutive Test match victory. They were too much for them at Ashton Gate, but it was, Siobhan and Heather, the first quarter-final that Scotland had reached since 2002. We cannot overstate how impressive that was.
No, absolutely. Definitely getting, it was almost like the role reversal. Wales got to the quarter-final in 2022 and Scotland did it last year, and I think the match against Wales set the tone, but also the performances against Fiji, absolutely outstanding, and best wishes to Emma Orr there as she gets taken, and that's lovely from Ciara Bevan, making sure she's okay. Eva Willis is on, but best wishes Emma, speedy recovery.
We can only hope that it's nothing serious for Emma Orr. She is such a special player, such a fulcrum in this Scottish side. Someone who can empathise on the injury front, though, is Evie Wills, back on, who spent well over a year out with an ACL rupture of her own, but she says she is back. She is a completely different player, fitter, faster, stronger, and with a game in the balance to impact here. Scotland can't buy a line out this afternoon, but Tuipulotu has gifted them back possession, scrum advantage.
Yeah, scrum advantage.
They want to stick to the scrums because those have been going pretty well, whereas that is now 6 line-outs lost and counting. Brabner Holden finding Nelson. They'll be so concerned for Emma Orr, of course they will, but they need to put that to the back of their minds because there is a test match to be won. Stewart into the arms of Jones and of Williams. Those are the rips they were practicing at the captain's run yesterday. That's exactly what Tyrone Holmes was after. Keat, Powell, Cox now. Former England under-20, but she's decided to play her test match rugby in crimson, not in white. George, the low and questing tester for Rolly, whose score feels such an awfully long time ago now. It's been a cagey second half so far, this.
Yep.
Nelson with a low effort of her own, and Ciara Bevan wishes she were a couple of inches taller.
Yeah.
50-22.
Ooh. No, 50-22, we were just before. That's before.
Again, just like Clicky George in the first half, just inches short, just in front of that 22.
I'm up here,
really good kicking there from Helen Nelson.
It's a lovely, lovely low punt. Really horrible to take and judge the flight of that. But it's put them in a good position, hasn't it, Scotland, Heather? You know, they won that kicking battle. Pressure's now on Wales. Wales are in their 22. They've got to exit cleanly. Territory in this game is going to be massive.
Kelsey Jones processes here. Great take.
Lewis looking to draw an infringement from Scotland, but they were squeaky clean on that occasion. Pers. Back for George.
Here, guys. No three. Yeah, thank you. Yep.
Campbell. She's got space to work with here, but no, she'll find Rolly instead, the Toulon fullback. Here's Lloyds. I think she spied a little bit of space in behind Powell, and she's found it.
There was options there as well. Meryl Smith outside, but she opted for the territory.
Time off, subs. 5 subs. Just hold them for me,
So
Precious.
Scotland's turn to make a change in the engine room. Cunningham is done, so on to make her international debut is 21-year-old Holland Bogan. Glasgow co-captain in the Celtic Challenge. She is just a pillar of confidence and energy and verve by all accounts. Absolutely stole the show at musical charades earlier on this week, and said with a wry smile by Sione Fukafuka, rugby's probably the game for her. A lot of energy.
Absolutely. Top carrier in the Celtic Challenge. And this is ready to make her mark. Congratulations, Holland Bogan.
Great kick. Really good exit by George. Interesting from the line out from Wales as well, if we see that back. But look at this kick. Lloyd doesn't know whether to go for it or not, but it's taken Wales from their 22 all the way up to halfway, and they needed that relief in pressure.
Let's go, please, Scotland. Same as
But
them.
both
Let's go,
Helen
let's
Nelson
get
and Claky George, different types of kick, really challenging the back three.
And kicking's so important in the modern game now, isn't it? Like, to play in the right areas of the game, how you challenge defence. It's hugely, hugely important that you can play in the right areas.
Great take by Malcolm.
Floated pass there from Smith, and then the clear out too over the top of Coulbra. Rolly's taken that with a pirouette mid-air. She's just showing off at this stage. Bergman holding on to Nelson. Stewart once again. That is a repeated pattern, those injections of pace. Here she is once more. There's not much of Alex Stewart, but she's got more bounce to the ounce than she's got any right to.
Release.
10 carries now, and counting. Is Brogan. Oh, she's offloaded that like a sorceress. Smith thrashing and railing her way up past the 10-metre line. Skeldon, Scotland tails all of a sudden right up. Wales yet to manage a point in this second half. Scotland with the converted try from Campbell. Looking to turn the screw, looking to open up a little bit of breathing space, but that's well read by Tuipulotu on Lloyds. Big counter-ruck from Jones. But it's left Wales's. Oh, there's a loose ball here. It's pinwheeling past Stewart. Campbell quickest to react. Someone needs to play scrum half. And it should probably be their scrum half. Here she comes, Brevna Holden. Coulbra.
Wait here.
Nelson's looking to pin this on Powell. But the Olympian reads that well. Got to play it down. It's Bryony King for Wales in the midfield. So Wales attacking with 14 for now. Singleton with a little goosey onto grab. Looks like it's been a long time since the ball went dead. There'll be some lactic sodden legs there. Some screaming lungs.
Balls available, use it, no!
Go with the screaming minions in the far stand. Rolly. On that by Singleton. And they're still playing phase after phase, this one. Malcolm might just have thrown that forwards.
Forward out of the hands.
There was almost too much run there, just the alignment there, but the recognition of where the space was there.
Responding to a TMO check. Okay. So
Here's the
we're going to be
voice
checking
of our Australian
contact
TMO, Graham Cooper.
by number 8 red. We're at the screen now.
Okay, replay's coming.
And it was this collision which caused Bryony King to stay down.
So I have direct head contact. For me, that's foul play because she is upright. So I'm at yellow card threshold and off-field review. Coops, do you agree with the facts? And you'll just have to get a mark for me. Okay, I've got a decision. Back to me.
On you now.
So we do have head contact. There is foul play because number 8 is upright in the tackle. Meets the yellow card threshold and off-field review. Number 8.
So it was Scotland's yellow card in the first half. It's Bryony King on her first Six Nations start who will leave the field now. There she is.
Over here.
And that will be reviewed by our foul play review officer, Portugal's Paulo Duarte. He'll examine all the angles at his leisure.
Mark will be here.
We will have an update, hopefully in the next few minutes.
Number 8. Number 8. Just confirming she's gone off, have we?
I thought for a moment
just
Bryony
wait till
King
they're
was
set,
going to
please.
style that one out and just stay with us.
Sorry, I haven't heard you, ref.
Never
Never mind the big
I'll let you get set.
microphone and the speakers that are in the stadium. I missed that one.
All good? High tackle.
Worth a try.
Yeah. Foul play review officer has 8 minutes to review that card.
Okay, hold them for me there, Alex, please. Time off. 2 and 3 subs. Just hold them for me, Alex, please. Bring them on, please.
Credit to the official in the middle. She didn't spend too much time over that, did she? She went TMO. It's direct head contact. Let's have a review off field, and we were moving on with the game really sharpishly.
Sean Lynn continues to send on the reinforcements to Pilotu, and Jones leave the field to rapturous applause. And we have an all-new front row now for Wales because Molly Reardon is with us at hooker along with Donna Rose, the Saracen tight head.
Well played, both try scorers there.
Maul.
Malcolm, elastic in the air, taking that down, and that maul is going precisely nowhere. Wales have just put the handbrake on. So Skeldon pops it onto Brebna Holden Campbell. Brebna Holden once more. Here is Bogan with a little chug and a meaty one at that. Bartlett. Scotland's front row unchanged. Wales defending, of course, with 14. Nelson onto Wills, who looked at the support runner on her shoulder, but instead decided to run hard and fast at Ciara Bevan.
And away, no hands now.
Scotland into the 22, and they've left with an average of 4 points per visit. Pretty impressive stuff. Making that territory count.
Advantage. Knock on.
But not on this occasion, and Wales will take all the time in the world setting this scrum up.
Okay.
Yeah, you've seen how much that meant to Wales. They want to get out of this half of their 22, but also get a bit of possession. They haven't really had any ball, Claire. This second half, it's been all Scotland, credit to them.
Okay. So the yellow card will remain a yellow card because it's not a high degree of danger. Okay? And we'll scrum.
And because also I think the foul play review added that the additional tackler as well. The initial tackle was Kate Williams here, caused Emily Kubra to drive up, so it will remain a yellow card. The actions of another player, so yellow card, so she'll be off for 10 minutes.
Yeah, right call, I think, Heather.
Find the stability on this side.
Just getting told the outcome.
Bryony King's been outstanding for Gwalia Lightning this year in Celtic Challenge. Captain of Gwalia Lightning, actually. Played most games at 8, so she's had plenty of time at 8 for them this year. Young player, exciting future ahead.
Reset.
Yeah, she was captain of Wales Rugby League team at the age of 18. Amazing.
Let's come over here, please. We'll come over here.
We've made sure she stays in the right game now, if we had a union.
Best wishes to her.
All 6, please. There is way too much movement before the ball is going in. We must set and hold the weight, both sides. Too much movement. I'm not going to let the ball come in until we find our stability. Let's go.
Wales with that 6-2 bench split and a bench groaning with experience. They wanted to be in the fight down the home straight and then to unload all of those enforcers. This is when, if all goes according to plan, it will come good. But Scotland, oh, they thought they'd shoved them off
around
it.
The corner.
A rueful
Not
smile.
straight through. Come around the corner.
From Emma Wassell, and a head ruffle between two Bristol Bears, Eliane Clark and Maisie Davies.
Not
Wales
pushing straight, you guys are going around the left-hand
just
side.
chip and chisel away at that yellow card and clear their lines by the cultured boot of Cleiki George.
Yeah, just Ella Goldsmith, referee, just saying that the scrum going up on the left-hand side there, Leah Bartlett's side.
Okay.
Wanting them to stay square and straight, but certainly the power is there.
1 and 11. Yeah, 1.
And that will be
And 11. Is that 11?
the end of Leah Bartlett's 50th cap. And on making her international debut is, with a big old beam, Demi Swan, who was only called up last week to the Scottish side and young, hurt her ankle, representing Loughborough Lightning in the Premiership. So Demi Swan, eligible to play for Canada or for Scotland, was summoned into the wider training squad. Here she is now playing at the Principality. It's not a bad place to make your debut. And also on, wearing number 23, is Lucia Scott, who is an absolute crackerjack of a back player. Sarah Lockwood has also joined us, wearing 22 for Wales. So they've got a new scrum half. And what an impact, Siobhan, she had each and every time she was injected into the World Cup.
Oh, she's class, Claire. Unbelievable player and still only young. Was with Wales under-18s at the Six Nations last year, but at the Rugby World Cup, when she come on, her evasion skills, how sharp she is to the breakdown, her speed of ball, a real bright future at 9.
George's spiral, Raleigh's driver right up the field. The kick chase as ravenous as ever from Lloyd, and she's gone and made her tackle stick. That from Scotland, exactly how kick chase should look. Here's the captain, Williams, who has just been everywhere, leading from the front exactly as Sean Lynn hoped she would. Wales clear once more.
You were talking, Claire, there about the kick chase. Absolutely superb by Chloe Riley, chasing her own kick and putting the pressure on Wales in that 22. Scotland got to stay on it. 17-12 at the moment, 64-minute mark. Got to keep their concentration and their processes right.
You guys are doing the exact same. Yeah. Rachel, let's go.
I still think we've got a lot more in this game with 15 minutes left to play.
18, thank you.
Oh, it's always a bottomless pit of drama, this one.
Good contest with the ball.
All the niggle and the spice you could
just
possibly
enough on
want.
the red.
And it is never over till the final whistle goes.
Scrum advantage, 9, you got scrum advantage.
Kubra, who has been up to her elbows in the stuff all debut long. She really has been. Lovely ball from Nelson Smith. Looks like she's not been away, despite it being 18 months between caps for the centre. Raleigh, driven backwards by Cox. Pepper Holden onto Nelson. Clark. Back at a pitch she was victorious on with Bears a fortnight ago.
Great tackle by Kate Williams there, just at the breakdown.
Scott will need to play scrum half. Reardon fancies a little pocket pick here. But no, so Clark once more. It's just a bullet, that pass from Brebner Holden. It's so good to watch. So too is Malcolm in the wide channels, linking up with Lloyd.
Release 7.
How many tests have those two played together? Veterans of this side as the debutant gets in and amongst it once more.
Kate Williams' defensive effort the last 3 minutes.
Oh, Reardon with the ball in one hand, turnover ball. Keat can't quite make that one safe. Lloyd is next upon it. Back and forth and back again goes possession. Bogan upended as she gets that one away. The crossfield kick from Smith. Scott will gather. She's got one to beat. She does it absolutely effortlessly. And Lucia Scott might just have driven a saltire into Cardiff turf. The gap is 10.
Lucia Scott, absolutely outstanding play. Missed the World Cup last year. 2 broken hands in the last warm-up game against Ireland, and they're proving her worth, keeping her with. Lovely release ball there by Holland Bogan. And Meryl Smith, right boot outside and cuts back in, taking out Kayleigh Powell. Superb finish. Brilliant stuff. 3rd try for Scotland by Lucia Scott. It's a cut back in as well. The vision, you could see her eyeing her up. Managed to catch on the hoof. Brilliant play, Lucia Scott.
An orchestrator of some really key scores last year for Scotland in the Six Nations. She makes them, she scores them, and Helen Nelson is now 4 from 4, and Scotland are 12 minutes away from the win and a try away from making it a bonus point one.
Pinpoint perfect, that kick from Smith. Scott doesn't even have to check her run. It's in exactly the right spot, and this is something they've identified as well, Scotland, with Wales's defence maybe being a little bit narrow in these wide channels and spotting that there's space out there.
Backwards by Bully from me and then kick.
Hannah Dallavale is on, wearing 23 for Wales. Lisa Neumann has left the field.
I think it's just accidental. For me, it's just accidental. She doesn't know who it's come off. Scrum. You're in front, but it's accidental for me.
On Bryony King's yellow card, Wales just need to weather this storm, whilst also finding a way back into this one on the scoreboard.
For me, I think it's just reactionary rather than deliberate. So,
how, Shuan, have Scotland found themselves in this position? It felt like we spent so much of the first half singing Wales's praises. What's happened?
Ultimately, the kicking game, Claire. We've seen a kick from Nelson for Campbell to go over, and then a kick from Smith for Scott to go over. So they've identified where the space is, and they're allowing their boot to do the work and get the ball to space. And rugby's ultimately a game of chess, right? You want to move the parts around, you want to move defenders around and find that space. And to be fair, whatever the Scottish coaches have said at half-time, it's worked and it's put Scotland in the right position. With a little bit maybe of ill-discipline from Wales, they've had a card in that as well with a high shot from Bryony King.
I asked Sione Fukafuka, who just saw on your screens, what he wanted from Scotland's attack this World Cup cycle, and he said, endeavour, expansiveness and skill sets. Heather, are we seeing all 3 of those?
Well, absolutely. Meryl Smith is probably the embodiment of those values. And you just saw her talking to Lucia Scott at the end. Meryl Smith sometimes doesn't get the plaudits, but she's had player of the matches before that ACL injury, and it's brilliant to see her back, showing her passing and kicking abilities and stretching that Welsh defence, because that Welsh midfield defence is outstanding.
And you know when you've got multiple kickers in your back line, you don't know what they're going to do, and it's really hard to apply pressure. So that is a huge bonus, having kicking options from 10 and 12.
Yeah, absolutely.
Find the stability.
She can play 10, 12, 15. It doesn't really matter. She's there, she just sees it.
Come on.
Natural ball player.
Crouch.
Lockwood on her Six Nations debut will feed. Keat was on the base of that scrum. Here comes Cox. Williams finds Reardon, the hooker who converted from scrum half not that long ago. Pearce, who's nudging 6 foot tall and is essentially 6 foot of dynamite. George picking out Powell. Oh, just about grabbed by the waist by Clark. How critical might that tackle prove? Pearce, lovely hands onto Lewis. Arriving at pace there was Crabb, and Wales suddenly back into the 22, but it's Scottish ball now. And it's the debutant Holland Bogan who says, thank you very much, I will have that.
Holland Bogan just happy to do the ball carrying, but happy in defence as well. And she's delighted with that. She's tall too, getting low, causing going Crabb. No end of hassle there. Well done, Holland Bogan.
Touch not found, so Powell with an audacious dummy. Lockwood, quick, clean service for Davies, who's gone so well at points this season for Bears in the absence of Simi. Pam and Hannah Bottoman, she stepped up quite wonderfully. Lewis on to Cox. Here's Dalla Valle, former Welsh captain. 3 World Cups worth of experience under that red scrunchie. Rose. Goldsmith, our referee, hurdling Elliot and Clark there.
Advantage.
And the momentum has inarguably swung blue and stayed there. They've had 62%
So just tell me who's coming off.
of possession,
Number
Scotland,
5,
over the course
Wales,
of the last
sub.
10 minutes. And there
2, 3,
is
and
evidence
7.
that Sean Lynn needs things to change, and
Box
change
forward back.
now,
Box
because
forward
here are
back.
2 of his
Forward
most
back.
abrasive operators, Branwen Metcalf and there, Georgia Evans. Scotland making changes too, though. Eva Donaldson is on and joining the back row. Molly Pullman has come on. And at hooker, making her first appearance since injuring her knee in the World Cup, Ellis Martin.
Impact off the bench is hugely important now, Claire. 9 minutes to play, 12-point games, a 2-score game. Wales have got to play in the right area, and they're going to have to come up with some goods, some points shortly to stay in this game. I haven't seen their attack flow as well as it did in the first 30 minutes this second half, so they need to find a way to get into it, but it's got to start with a defensive set. They're defending you from a scrum in the middle of the field.
Scotland looking for a 5th win in a row in all competitions against Wales, but Kayleigh Powell on the counter is a sight to behold, and that's 40 metres. 40 metres and some front foot ball as Lockwood sets off on a little excursion. Evans will clear out, all thrashing pink bow.
Hold on, good reload.
George onto Davies, and they're up to the 10 now. All the front row involved. Rose and Reardon with the clear out. Lockwood once more. George with a little dummy of her own. They've gone 60, Wales. Time is against them. But you sense just a little bit more impetus, and so do the crowd here at the Principality, because they're starting to raise voices. Cox, who's got a fiendish outside break, but she's well marshalled by Scott back in field. Lockwood onto George, skip pass to Rose. Going backwards is Martin. Oh, Rose still going. Welsh props are having a terrific 2026, and Lockwood up to 5 metres. Was that high? Wales's ball to within 5 of a score that would be an oxygen mask to this match. Evans wants it. Hands on ball. The try line within touching distance. Branwen Metcalf, under 20s captain, but mixing it with the big girls now. Scotland on the scramble. Wonderful carry from the captain. Wonderful try from the captain. Kane Williams with the armband, and maybe the score that saves Wales' afternoon.
All started with a big carry from Donna Rose in the middle of the field. That's the impact Sean Lynn would have been looking at. And then look at Lockwood, her evasion skills. She's at the breakdown. She makes the line break. And good quick ball. And look at this fight in the tackle from Williams. That's determination. She could have given up, but determined to score that try. And importantly, girls, it's in front of the sticks, and we've got 2 points here, hopefully.
Claykie George, who has broken Scottish hearts before in the Six Nations, makes it a 5-point ball game. What a Grand Slam finish we're about to have here in Cardiff.
Absolutely, the atmosphere is just electric, and what a spot by Sarah Lockwood, the young player, the young scrap half, to create that excellent play. Great finish by Williams.
It's going to be an interesting 6 minutes.
Well, they're blaring the Chapel Roan. That's how you know things are juicy here in the Principality. We told you that this one was historically tight, but even we couldn't have dreamt that we'd have one score in it with 5 minutes to play.
I think I read 5 of the last 7 games Wales have played against Scotland in the Six Nations have finished within 3 points.
If you want stubby fingernails, this is the game to tune into. If you want your heart rate climbing and climbing, or to watch rugby from behind a cushion, then we have got you covered. Here we go.
Move back, Scotland, move back!
Nelson and George continuing to play this game of chess with the boot. Rolly shoots up. Powell, whose break kick started it all, sets off on yet another adventure. She has had a torpedo-like final 10 minutes, Kayleigh Powell. Davies also having an impact. And you've got to say, Lynn's replacements have made a real difference.
Huge difference, and that's what you want. You can't just be about a 15. The impact your subs can bring on, the impact players, the 8 on the bench, and fair play, Donna Rose, Seren Lockwood, Molly Reardon, they've all made an impact and made a difference. But Kayleigh Powell, really lovely vision, spotted, couldn't see who it was, but it was a Scottish forward on the edge. She took her on, and the result of that then was a penalty, and Wales are back down in Scotland's half.
Well, you two have been scheming and plotting between you, and you've come up with a short list of 4 Guinness Women's Six Nations Player of the Match contenders. Goodness knows how you're going to hack that down to one winner. And we'll deal with all of that at the full-time whistle, because we still don't know.
Turnover.
We still don't know who's going to win this one.
Stop, 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 stop.
Nelson goes for distance. Powell returns with interest.
Yes. Again, Scotland, keep moving, moving.
Singleton. What a game for her debut. Carries this one. Gets the fens away. Cox with a critical clear out. Kubra almost had the turnover there. Williams,
No heads, Blue, tackle her in the way.
who has played like fire and brimstone for 77 minutes. Davies eyed up the 10-metre pass and instead decided to bruise someone Scottish. George is charged down. Martin doing fantastic work. Powell again. Who put 50p in Kayleigh Powell at half-time? Reardon banged down in no uncertain terms by Wassell and by Donaldson. George finding Lloyd, and there are holes here in the Welsh defence, but Lloyd decides to drop it to her laces. The 50-22 is on here, but that's just going to roll dead.
Go on.
What a passenger play. And Rachel Malcolm's down just for her efforts there. Everyone just giving it everything.
Yeah.
I'd love to know the ball in play stats.
We're just going to go time off quickly. Pardon? Let me just deal with this, okay?
Did Sean Lynn just look down the barrel of our coaching cap? Did Sean Lynn just break the 4th wall?
We will play. Time is on now. Let's play.
That's
I'm feeling him right now, Claire. I'm feeling the pressure.
We're all as stressed as Sean Lynn, and we're all as out of breath as Rona Lloyd, and I do not say that lightly. 90 seconds, and that calamitous from the Scots.
Yeah, right here is where Helen Nelson's composure, Meryl Smith's composure is absolutely key.
Hey. Are you going to make the game? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Is that
She's saying
smarts from Rachel Malcolm?
Yeah, she got injured there, and she's saying she just needs to tape her thumb.
Okay. I'll keep an eye.
Does she have a thumb injury? Rachel Malcolm's been in the game long enough. She's aware enough of what the score is, what the clock is, and anything to get a bit of composure in the Scottish side now. You know, her leadership shining through here. What does the team need? I'd question a thumb injury there.
I have to say though, yeah, that aside as well, Kayleigh Powell, Wales just giving it absolutely everything. The turnover's amazing. Rachel Malcolm though, on her 54th, she's the most capped Scottish captain ever, male or female, leading her team even after taking a knock.
The thumb's fine though.
The thumb's fine.
The thumb's fine.
But yeah, phenomenal leader, you know, through turbulent times as well, Heather. What a player and what a leader for Scotland.
Key for line out now.
Scotland have lost 6 line-outs, and the Principality is as loud as it has been all match. Nerveless from Martin. Back in blue for the first time since the World Cup. So too Smith. Back against the direction of play. All those numbers on the blind side, count them, 6 Scotland shirts. Wassell with a little assistance. Here's Swan on debut, the Exeter chief. To the short side again. They think there's something going here, or perhaps they think this is how they can eat away the remaining seconds, because there are 30 of them and Wales need to make it 70 metres if they're to tie this one up. Kubra, who's going to go 80 on debut. That is some shift from the youngster. And that might just be the game.
Like that, ruck is formed. Let's play, please. Let's play, please.
Interesting what they do here now, because it is a big field, Claire. 3 points, obviously, take them to 7 ahead. But what if they miss and Wales can counter out from it?
3 points, even more critically, and not to call out your mental math, Shuan, takes them to 8 points ahead and will deny Wales the losing bonus point.
You call out my maths, Claire. Definitely got that very wrong there.
Helen Nelson on 3 conversions and 1 penalty so far.
She's 4 from 4. She was 4 from 4 in this one last year. Can she down Wales at the death under the mightiest of pressure and the Principality rafters? It's floated on to Keats, and Wales have one final dash for glory. The finale to end all finales. Pearce taking names. Wales to the cusp of the 22. Lockwood onto Evans. Some shot from Wassell, the warrior. Out wide from Lewis. It's gathered by Dalavale. Tiptoe stuff. How did she keep that infield?
It was great work by Hannah Dalavale to stay in there.
Wales have to go 80 here. It's Reardon at the base. Scotland have to be squeaky clean. They cannot give Flaky George the penalty with which to motor upfield. Pearce, Lockwood, George onto Keats. Getting low, putting her body on the line there was Scott. Davies wants it. She has carried like a Trojan since arriving. Over the ball is the captain. Wales have a losing bonus point as things stand. Scotland would leave here with 4 points, but Wales want the win. They want a first win in 9 long months, and Scotland, they're not going to relinquish this one without a fight.
Yeah, Wales going through the phases, Claire, but not really getting anywhere. I feel like they need to speed up the ball and get some tips in there. That's better. Get in behind Scotland, but that ball's got to be faster.
Lockwood onto George, Dalavale onto Singleton. Carries hard, nuggety. But the tackle's made. Scotland are going backwards here, but for now, happy to keep bodies on feet to just absorb the Welsh carries. There are some tired legs out there. Who has the mental toughness to make this one count? Who can shrug off the exhaustion, clear their minds. One error for Wales and their game is done. Dalavale! Twice she has flirted with disaster and come up with the ball, but Wales have to go all over again. They are right back where they started. Reardon next with 3 minutes into overtime. George with the Hail Mary out onto Singleton. She's got Scott to beat. Wassell, just absolutely inexhaustible. Her 13th tackle. Evans now. George. The debutante Cooper has gone really, really well this afternoon. They have unearthed a pearl in the number 8. That's better. Quick ball. Cox. Keat is there. Keat on the outside arc. Big shot coming in from Lloyd. Wales still inside their 22.
A lot of phases they've gone through now. There's tired bodies on both sides of the field.
For me, I don't have any head or neck contact. I just over the shoulder.
The first one to break you.
George's patience wears thin. She's found Singleton. Singleton back in field, fending off Wassell. Wassell clutching a wrist. Branwen Metcalf up over halfway. Surely they're not going to do it. Reardon. Rose. Legs and lungs are screaming, and so are thousands in the Principality. Cox has a carry. We've gone 4 minutes and 40 metres. Are you not entertained? Oh, and Scotland have it back. Scotland have it back. And it's Molly Pullman who pounces upon it, and Helen Nelson with the killer blow.
Just wait, I'm just checking something, yeah.
We've got to check something.
Yeah, so I haven't fought cold time yet, so I'm just checking something, if that's okay. Oh. Yeah, just my team, something to hold. Just hold.
Wales have a stay of execution.
I'm just checking something, okay?
Just in case we hadn't seen it all in this one.
Okay. Time off. Okay, Coops. So you're going to show me head contact by 17 Scotland. That's us at the screen.
Yes. Replay's coming now.
Thanks.
It's Demi Swan, the 30-year-old from Ontario.
Okay. Direct head contact, I've got direct shoulder to head. For me, she's upright, so it's foul play and reaches the yellow card threshold. Do you guys agree? Can we just play at real speed? I just want to see the force, or if it's direct or indirect. Yeah, and if we've got that back angle as well again for me.
Her communication.
Yeah, so for me it's direct head contact, so it reaches yellow card threshold. Do you agree with the facts, Coops?
Ella Goldsmiths is
okay,
so crystal
back to me,
clear.
I've got a decision.
She's had a great afternoon, actually.
Back on you.
I think she's managed
So
the game
head
superbly.
contact, there is foul play because she is upright, so it reaches yellow card threshold. 17. I'm just giving my mark for me, mate.
We're going to have a 90-minute game here.
And the fans of the Principality have practically blown the roof off the place.
Absolutely
45,
amazing
okay, right
passages of play. Claky George finding the break out with her kicking.
At 10 metres, please.
Interesting from me here. They're dead in the middle of the field, Wales. This is a big kick to touch. And they've had a prop
Head contact,
bend.
17. Right in the
But
middle.
they are going to corner.
Well, Sean Lynn asks a
Right
lot
on
of
this
his
side.
sides.
The guy
He
with
has
the
coached
towel,
Hartbury
the guy with the
University
towel.
to a three-peat, Gloucester Hartbury to a three-peat. He's had success at every level, but the one
If you don't go
non-negotiable
on the mark for me, Alex, and I'll get everyone
for
in.
that
Thank
man
you.
there is effort and hard work. And for Wales to have found themselves here is a Herculean effort. Reardon with the trick play. Oh no, what a way to end it!
Deliberate.
Oh. Fine.
Well, what a way to bring the curtain down on this first Super Saturday of the 2026 Guinness Women's Six Nations. Back to back to back goes Scotland. And Sione Fukafuka, he can cut the ribbon on his tenure with a flourish. This one always delivers. Absolute sporting theatre right to the last 85, 86 minutes of mesmeric rugby. Scotland continue to have Wales's number as the women in red, their wait for a win drags on. But there were green shoots there, and they will take so much courage from that leg and lung sapping final passage of play. Helen Nelson was a chess grandmaster in a match that was as muscular as it was tactical, and we were utterly engrossed. It is time, Heather Lockhart and Siobhan Lillicrap, to award your Guinness Player of the Match. The graphics beating you to it, but go on, tell us exactly why Helen Nelson is a worthy recipient.
Well, just at the end there, amazing. Hats off to Wales. The improvement there from the World Cup, absolutely outstanding. And as you say, pure theatre, those last passes of play. But the Guinness Women's Six Nations Player of the Match is Helen Nelson for absolute class. 3 conversions, 1 penalty, 4 from 4. And she just carried as well, top carrier for Scotland, 16 carries and 21 kicks from hand, ably assisted by Meryl Smith. But hats off to Gwen Crabb and Kate Williams and the rest of the Welsh team for the defensive effort and the attacking effort as well.
Nelson's done it again for Scotland, hasn't she? She's just navigated the way they play, well, the way they attack, and put Scotland in the right places, and a great crossfield kick as well. So Helen Nelson, well-deserved player of the match this afternoon in a close encounter in Cardiff.
So much to enjoy about the performances of all 46 players, and it really did take all 46 whole squad efforts this afternoon before thousands here at the Principality. Scotland, they will turn their attention to a big one. They are at Murrayfield next week, hosting the Red Roses, the reigning champions, in front of a record-shattering crowd of 25,000. Siobhan, Wales will be just next door at the Cardiff Arms Park. They'll be hosting France, which is a tall order. But what about the 85 minutes you just saw has given you heart ahead of that of an improved showing?
Oh, it's given me huge hope, Claire. I thought Wales were exceptional, especially in the first 30 minutes. The way they defended, the way they had variation in attack, the way they looked to play down the short side or in the open where there was more space. The kicking game was there as well. Just Scotland found a way that second half, but that was a much improved Welsh performance, defensively and attackingly, and the desire to stay in that game till the end. And what was most pleasing for me is, with that error at the end and Scotland getting the turn over the line out, Wales got together tight and they were as one straight away. So that is a connected group.
To the victors, the spoils, Scotland all huddled around there listening to Rachel Malcolm, their captain, but it's their vice-captain who will leave here with the silverware today, because Helen Nelson was extraordinary pulling the strings today, and she is speaking to Jenny Drummond.
Helen, congratulations. The perfect way to start off this campaign, but my goodness, that was tight at the end. How are the nerves?
Yeah, it was a little bit tight at the end there. I think we definitely got our defensive sets going. I don't think the forwards will help me for that, but you know, it's always tight against Wales. But I'm just proud that we put in that full 85 minutes performance and managed to get the win. Yeah,
the start of the second half, a couple of tries coming there. It seemed like you'd had a good chat at half-time. What was the plan there?
Definitely, I think we talked about the backfield. We thought there was some kick space that we'd missed first half, so just going after that and probably looking to play a little bit tight. I think we've been a wee bit loose in the wide channel, so just tightening things up and going after that territory game.
Well, Emma Orr went off injured. She's a key player, certainly in the midfield. How did you reorganise at that point?
Yeah, really sad to lose them there, but obviously had Evie Wells to come in, an experienced player. So yeah, we just looked to kind of stick to our plan. Like I say, keep playing that territory game and back our defence.
As a squad, there's been a lot of changes in terms of personnel, coaching and players. How have you all dealt with that and gelled ahead of such a big campaign?
Yeah, it's been quite a fast little pre-season. I think we've had 12 days together. So just really focusing on us, you know. I think we've got a really good starting point. Obviously a lot of experienced players, but then those young guns that came in today as well. So just trying to get to know each other off the pitch, get those connections and then show that on the field.
Well, look, well done today. Great game.
Thank you very much.
Yes, massive congratulations to Helen Nelson and her side. They leave Cardiff once again with a win, but what a finish. OK, let's get some confirmation of all the other results today then. England beating Ireland by 33 points to 12 all in that second 40, but Jess Breach and Ellie Kildun amongst the Red Roses try scorers there. And in Grenoble, France beating Italy by 40 points to 7. And I mean, that's a very embryonic table. I know we've only played one round, but that's how it looks currently. France leading the way and wins this weekend, of course, for France, England and Scotland. Wales, Ireland, Italy go into round 2 looking for their first win of the campaign. Do you know what? I actually don't know where to start with this. I don't know whether to start with Wales and commiserate with them, but yet congratulate them and champion them on the improvements, or to congratulate Scotland. I think I'm going to go congratulations to Scotland, because that was a much better 30 minutes of that 40 minutes plus second half, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And we said at half-time that they wouldn't have been happy with that first half performance and that they would come out firing, especially in that first 10 minutes. And that's exactly what they did. I think they really capitalised on actually winning that territory battle in the second half. And those kicks in behind really stressed the Welsh defence. So the collisions were massive. So actually identifying space is what really helped get them on that front foot in the second half.
Yeah, that kicking game was good from Scotland in that second 40. But for Wales, I felt like at half-time we were waxing lyrical about this Welsh side, because they looked so good in that opening 40 minutes. So what changed for them in that second half? Because at times they looked a little bit lacking in energy. What was different?
I think first of all, got to congratulate Scotland, because I think the way they came out and dealt with Wales was really clever. Wales were getting a lot of their energy, their confidence from those defensive sets. And I think you heard Helen Nelson saying we spotted some space in behind that we weren't exploiting in the first half. And that's what they did in the second. By kicking those balls in behind, just took the energy out of the defence. It stopped Wales from being able to build their momentum from those big hits. So I think the kicking game was a masterclass, and Wales did get a bit flat. You felt after the sort of first 20-minute mark, that's when we started to see lots of changes coming in, and players coming on to just bring that energy and try and lift things up a bit, but unfortunately it was a little bit too late.
Should we have a look at the second half tries then? We'll start with Shauna Campbell's score in that second 40, which came from a good set piece and some key players making some good key decisions then after that.
Yes, you see from the scrum, it's a solid base. Meryl Smith carries it straight to the line. You can see Emma Orr fix the defenders, and getting that pass out the back to Helen Nelson to identify that space. Shauna Campbell times her run so well, a great bounce, and actually just a great piece of play, and also a great piece of skill as well.
Yeah, and unfortunately from a Welsh perspective, a bit of a lack of communication there between the 15 and wing. I think we've got the debutante there coming onto it, maybe looking at Kayleigh Powell thinking this is your ball, you're the fullback, but actually there needed to be some earlier comms, as you know, it's the cardinal sin when you're a backfield player letting that ball bounce, because it's an ugly ball and you never know where it's going to go, and there is a classic example of it going to the team you don't want it to.
Yeah, because we were championing Wales' defence as well in that first half. You kind of feel like there were times during that second 40 they would have been a little bit frustrated with it. Fair?
Yeah, fair, and I think it was that kicking that exposed it, because Wales were coming up so high and fast. They were making collisions in the first half, which meant Scotland couldn't play from it, whereas in the second half they were coming up high and fast, but Scotland were very clever. When they went to ground, they got that ball away quick and deep, so the person then who was deep could see that space in behind. They weren't trying to play on the front foot every time, which is what they were doing in the first half. So it was those kicks in behind that Wales didn't look ready to receive.
And Scotland's second score in that second half came from Lucia Scott and your girl Meryl Smith playing a part in that as well. You called it in fairness, Jay, didn't you, pre-match, that she was going to have a good game?
I did. She's exceptional. You know, coming back from the knee injury that she's got is incredible. So again, identification of space. She's seen that the Welsh defence had rushed up. She can see Lucia Scott on the edge. And again, just that comms of calling where the space is and being ready to chase that as well. Just exceptional from Meryl Smith to identify it, but also from Lucia Scott to actually catch that, be able to run through as well. Like, absolutely phenomenal piece of skill there again.
And you might have heard me saying hello, congratulations to Meryl Smith, because she just made her way into the studio. She's not even watching actually what she's doing while here in the game. But Meryl, massive congratulations. They made you work pretty hard for that today though, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely. Like, so happy to get the win, but Wales made it so hard for us. I think we didn't make it easy for ourselves either. We were quite sloppy at times, and I think trying to integrate the new structure under Sione. But yeah, just really glad to get the win at the end.
I'm just going to say, she called it as well pre-match. She was like, yeah, Meryl Smith's going to have a great game today, and Emma Orr. So yeah, you can do your questioning.
Yeah,
now,
just obviously
Jay.
You're off the back of coming back for your first international, and you know, pre-injury you were absolutely tearing it up. So to come back tearing it up, how does it feel to be back in a Scotland shirt?
Yeah, just to be back in blue, it means the world. Like, to be back with this team, it's such a special group, and yeah, I've definitely missed it the last year, seeing from the stands and watching them do such amazing things at the World Cup. But to be back in with the squad, it's amazing. And to get the win today, it just cherry on top.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously the first round of the Six Nations, but I mean, there's been a lot of changes in terms of kind of backroom staff and coaches. So we were saying pre-match that we didn't quite know what to expect from you guys this afternoon. Well, what was asked of you? What did that coaching setup want to see from you today?
Yeah, I think we're looking to play a bit more expansive rugby. I think we've got really strong skill set amongst our players, and our back three are really strong, some of like the fastest girls around. So I think we're trying to play a bit wider, and I think we struggled a bit today with the Welsh defence was really strong. Hitting us back a few times, so I think we're trying to work on our adaptability maybe, so trying to play around them when we can, but also fronting up.
Yeah, I mean, Wales really brought it to you in that first half, didn't they? They were physical. I mean, like you mentioned, their defence there. But like Jade said, they're not going to be happy. Scotland are not going to be happy in that dressing room at half-time. So what was the message at that stage? Because you were a different side for the majority of that second 40.
Yeah, I think that first half, from our point of view, wasn't good enough. I think we didn't front up as much as we should have, and the Welsh came out firing, and yeah, the crowd was so loud behind them, and I think that really pushed them on, and that's something we need to be better at next week, and hopefully playing at home with a Scottish crowd, that might come a bit easier. But yes, half-time we just needed to reset, to stick to our game plan and play through a bit more, and I think we're much better in that second half, and it showed.
And talking about adaptability, losing Emma Orr, such a huge player for you, and obviously best wishes with her, but it's seamless transition. You kept the dominance in that centre, and you actually seemed to kick on from that moment.
Yeah, like Emma's such an amazing player. I absolutely love playing with her, and I hope she's okay. But Evie was did so well when she came on, and she's been training so well, and I think that squad depth and cohesion that we have now is so strong that it does mean that, you know, you never want someone to go off early, but it means that when Evie comes on, whoever it is, they can just come in really easily, fluidly, and yeah, I think she did amazingly when she came on, and we managed to hold out.
Massive congratulations, all the very best next week in that massive encounter against England at Murrayfield. Thank you for your time. I'll let you get back to celebrate with your teammates. Well done. Great to see you. Well done. Well played. Joanna Lillicrap has made the long journey down from Coms. It's quite a walk, isn't it?
I've got my steps in today, Sarah.
You definitely have today.
The stadium.
I think, you know, we have congratulated Scotland, and rightly so, because they were very good in that second 40. From a Welsh perspective, though, Joanne, that was so much better than what we saw in the World Cup.
Oh, it was a hugely improved performance. I think, you know, we probably startled Scotland up first, and Scotland didn't know what was coming at them, especially from a defensive point of view. I thought in the first 30 the attack looked much better from a Wales perspective, testing Scotland's defence, but you know, credit to Scotland. In that second half they come out and they found the kick space out there in the wide channel, something they must have identified at half time, but to get back into the game and get back up to halfway and show that character Wales showed was outstanding way to finish, and the connected group at the end was really pleasing to see.
Well, absolutely. Thank you so much for your company, guys, and I'm sure you guys at home have been entertained this afternoon as well. We very much look forward to next weekend, and we've got so much coming up for you. Of course, we've got that massive game at Murrayfield, Scotland against England, and that's going to be a massive encounter, isn't it, which we're very much looking forward to, Philippa?
Oh yeah, absolutely, and looking like more records being broken as well.
Absolutely. Okay, from all of us here then at Cardiff, enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys.
Wales against Scotland, the cauldron of history, spice, oohs and ahs, thrills and spills. Chloe Rollie lighting the touch paper on this affair. This is heading in one direction only. Oh, clean catch by Cecilia Tuipulotu. Oh my goodness, Shona Campbell out of nowhere. Scott will gather, she's got one to beat. She does it absolutely effortlessly. Wonderful carry from the captain, wonderful try from the captain. Back to back to back goes Scotland.